the window is just like completely wrecked. There's scratches and like dents all over the driver's side door, and they said it was just the scariest thing. And my friend told me that story while we're out in the middle of nowhere on a ranch fishing, and I'm like, is he about to kill me, dude? This is horrible. It was a terrible time. I told you guys I'm already like scared about things in general, and it was not fun. But
It's so scary.
I called the guy and talked to him, Joe.
Yeah.
And he told it to me too, and it like he believes it without a doubt. Like it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, why make that up too? Like, that's one of my things when you hear crazy stories like that. It's like, what's the benefit to lying about that? Also, like, how do you? I mean, I can imagine they're like showing the car later. It's like, how do you explain the scratches and the dents and all that and the window crack?
Yeah, what? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't like the theory that like people who didn't believe the story, they're like, oh, you're just trying to come up with some reason that maybe you had too many or something dumb like that, and you scratched up the car. But it's like, why would you say a skinwalker? You know, like come up like a deer is a problem in the area. Like that's what you say. I hit a deer.
You don't have to go that far.
Yeah, right.
Got to make sure they really believe it.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Did they ever look into like what native groups were around there in the Colorado?
I don't know if they looked into those, but they told me that it was
What's the town again?
St. Louis Valley.
No, it's. I don't want to say the town name.
Oh, okay.
It's like a. I don't want to say it, but it's the guy lives.
Type it in, and I'll do research and say without the name while you're continuing to.
Okay.
That is so spooky.
That is so scary.
Yeah,
but it lines up so much with like the cryptid stuff of like how fast they are and like how they chase people.
So like, yeah, and like with Skinwalker lore, do these things just like walk around terrorizing people, or are they like assigned a person?
I think it just depends on what the motive is. I think a lot of it is, I know like a lot of the Skinwalker story stuff is that they transform in order to terrorize a person, a single person that they're like out to get. But I got some stories of just, because I know you had a Skinwalker story, so I'm like, how many cultures on Earth have different Skinwalker stories? Turns out every culture on Earth has Skinwalkers.
Really?
A type of Skinwalker, yeah. They go by different names.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of looking into Norse Skinwalkers, like Viking Skinwalkers, and they're called Bear Seekers. Bear Seekers. And they were an elite shock troops in Norse culture, often serving kings and chieftains. They fought without armor, and they typically had a bear hide or a wolf hide on them. And the legend goes that these dudes, before battle, would do like a ritual or something with like the hides on them, and they would go into battle and like have they said that they would be like foaming at the mouth, have supernatural strength. And oftentimes people reported them actually turning into the physical animal, but they said that they would like receive like wounds and stuff, like mortal wounds. Yeah. That would kill them, but they would just keep on going. And said that they were just absolutely crazy dudes, and they would just destroy these people. And at the end, they would like be exhausted. It's like the whatever was possessing them would leave.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
I think scary is the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly horrifying. Yeah. Traumatizing.
Wait, so that would it go back to like a human, or would it leave the human's body? You're saying?
Yeah, whatever possessed them to act like the animal, or even potentially turn into an animal at the end of the battle, would leave them, and they would like go back to normal.
Would they be dead though? Because you said they would have died.
No, because like I don't know. They would just live.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, but they said that so when they did this thing, they would start shaking, foaming at the mouth, howling like animals. They felt no pain, had superhuman strength, could shrug off wounds that would usually kill a man. And after their rage ended, they often collapsed from exhaustion.
Gosh. Imagine the adrenaline rush from all that.
I know.
The exhaustion.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
But yeah, and so I got a couple like little stories of like scenarios like that. So there's this guy, this was, I don't even know what year it was, long time ago in Viking culture. And I wrote down the pronunciations because these Norse names are impossible.
Yeah, probably.
But this guy, his name is Egil. Egil Skalargrism.
Hey, good job.
Egil, but we'll just call him Egil.
Ego.
But
Let go.
so he was a 12-year-old boy at the time in Norway, and this guy named Leoit.
I'm Lady London, and this is The Spark.
You don't have faith in me.
Right? Who was a bear seeker, challenged his family to a duel. And what's his face? Egil said, I'm going to fight him. And all of a sudden he started like getting all like weird and like foaming at the mouth. And this guy who was a Viking, a full-grown Viking, a bear seeker, one of the crazy dudes, this 12-year-old Egil somehow got this possession of a bear seeker and then defeated him. They said he literally tore him to shreds, and it gets graphic. He took his axe. They said he buried it so far into his head that it got stuck.
Ugh.
A 12-year-old boy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And they say that his grandfather was a well-known bear seeker called the Evening Wolf. And so the theory is that he passed down this skin-walking bear seeker ability to his grandson, or like it was like a lineage thing.
Yeah.
To me, it just sounds like a demon possession
I was
thing.
gonna say, what do you think?
Yeah,
of it?
like a family curse almost. Or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
But-
Golly, dude.
Yeah, Egil.
Could you imagine?
Or even
Crazy, yeah.
even a knowledge how to pass that on and how to acquire that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ada might be a bear seeker, dude.
Watch it. No, she's
She's like foaming at the mouth sometimes. It's like something wrong.
There's this other story of this guy named another Viking dude, Bothvar, and Bothvar Bjarkni. That was pretty good.
That was
Very
good.
good name.
Bothvar
Yeah.
Bjarkni.
Yeah.
Scary name.
That's an impression.
But they said that in battles he would go like catatonic in the camp, like he would just like almost in a trance, and every time he did that, a bear would appear in the actual battle, killing the enemy. And then when they said they would wake him up, the bear would vanish.
Oh, that's so. How do you?
He would be in
explain that?
different places.
He would like almost possess the bear.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
And so like he would never fight the actual battles. He
Yeah.
would just lay in camp, and then like whatever he did possessed a bear supposedly,
That's so
and
interesting.
would go into these
Wow.
battles and kill people.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
That would be a pretty cool power.
It'd be an awesome movie.
Aren't
I
there?
would-
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Aren't there like American and or Russian conspiracy theories about people being able to do that, like from the Cold War days, being able to like access another place from?
If you see that Giving Pump campaign, stop and fuel up your car at that purple pump. I don't think we could do it without.
This
Yeah.
body or
Yeah.
another thing.
That's like the remote viewers and stuff.
Yeah, like they could see something across the world or
Yeah.
something and tell you exactly what it was.
I mean, the CIA government has done that. Like they've on paper.
Stargate.
They've done that. Like that's something like a
Yeah.
huge program that they've actually put a lot of money and effort into.
Dude, if you
So
want
it's-
to get goosies,
Okay.
there's Sean Ryan interviewed one of the remote viewers from the Stargate project, and we've talked about it on the show a few times, but I totally trips me out when I watch it. But he asks her, "Have you ever tried to go back and view an event like the crucifixion, like Jesus on the cross?" And she, radio silent, stops talking to him. She's looking like this all around the room, and he's like, "I can't ask you that question." And she's like,
She couldn't
and they
speak.
move on. She could not speak because it's demonic.
That did give me goosebumps.
I know, that's
Wait,
scary.
why is that demonic?
Well, I
Or
just
just
think,
the whole thing?
well, the whole practice of it is
How do you do it? Did they ever give like a tutorial?
No.
When
Well,
they dropped it?
we did look at that one document one time where it was like how you can get into the astral planing realm. And it's like all these different techniques that you do, and it was that 55515.
Yeah, the healing healing code.
Yeah, and like just like really weird. It was like literally a manual for like the beginner stages of like astral planing and doing the whole remote viewing.
I mean, they've done a lot of intel on it. Like, it's just like a lot of study and a lot of research on it, and it's wacky that we just don't see. That's a huge spiritual, other dimensional type of thing that we're not used to on our everyday basis, but yet they were practicing it. They probably still are, And it's like this is like it feels like we're being gaslit by our own government because it's like that's not possible.
And that's a good
movie stuff.
That's a good distinction, though. The difference between spiritual and scriptural. Like, just because something is possible via the spiritual, like if it's not scriptural, that would be why she couldn't or wouldn't go there, because the spiritual being that granted her that ability was like, we don't go to the place of our defeat. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
that's
wild.
what I think.
Super weird.
I have a friend who he told me he would meditate a lot, and he meditated with maybe that certain frequency you're talking about. He did it with like headphones on with a certain frequency or beat on, and maybe this is what you're talking about, but he said he went to like a different place and he could see it. He could actually went to like a different place and he could see like the earth and space and different things. Like I think that's what you're talking about, but he did it himself, and he is very like he said he did it.
What did he
Sounds
say
awesome.
about it? Was it like cool, or was it freaky, or was it what?
He said it was cool. He said he's never been able to do it again. It was a one-time thing that he hasn't been able to replicate, and it was really hard. It sounded like he had maybe practiced to do that. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I think he said he could like kind of see the earth and different things from above, like from outer space. I might be mixing
That's
that up,
what
but
a
he
lot of
did
people do
something
say. Yeah.
like that. But he went somewhere else and he could see other things in real time that weren't where his physical body was.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting.
See, I think it's just a dangerous thing. It's like opening your mind to the unseen realm, you know, and you don't know what's in that realm.
Yeah.
Could
It
get
is-
you.
That's the problem is that like it sounds interesting on paper. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to do that? But then, yeah, once you start realizing like the other truths that surround everything like that, it's like, well, maybe it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not worth dabbling into.
You have to
Wow.
ask yourself the question too, though: what were our minds capable of before sin entered the world? You know, like what about our physiology changed at that time?
Yeah.
You know, were we capable of that once upon a time, and it was righteous? Did your friend say the Earth was flat?
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm not a flat earther.
No, he did not. But I have a pilot friend who said it's without a doubt not flat. I believe him more than anybody else.
Yeah, dude. Skinwalkers, they're everywhere. Like every culture, like
Yeah.
I was looking like we've all heard of these, but like the story of them is actually terrifying. The Selkies,
Oh yeah.
like from Ireland and Scotland.
Oh.
Selkies. But they were they called them seal people who shed their skins to become human. If you stole their skin, you controlled them.
Really?
But it's always an animal hide skin that these people put on to part of this transformation.
I mean, biblically, demons possess animals. Like, they went into pigs. Like, what did the pig look like running down the hill?
Yeah.
You know, I don't imagine it looked like a happy pig.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever that looks like.
Well, it talks about in like the Book of Enoch too, like the Watchers, they literally messed with animals and they taught forbidden knowledge basically. So it makes you wonder, is part of that like a witchcrafty kind of thing, like they taught to become an animal,
Yeah.
like even if it's just like a deceptive thing, where
Right.
it's like they're not actually the animal, but everyone perceives them
Right.
as that animal.
What's and I'm not advocating for Rings of Power as the greatest expression of Tolkien's work, but you know, there's that scene in the new show. You remember where they like go to the edges of the world and they find that like ice castle layer,
Oh yeah.
and they were like, "What manner of evil did this?" And it's like they were literally, according to Tolkien in his work, which I believe is not completely fiction, they were taking like elvish creatures and like creating goblins and like mixing with stuff. So Tolkien rarely did something just out of nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing, using evil to manipulate genomes and create hybrid beasts.
Yeah.
I think it existed in some capacity more than people are typically willing to accept, for sure.
Yeah, well, there's even the story we've talked about before, but in what is it, 2 Kings, talks about Nebuchadnezzar, how it said that becoming the beast of the field. It said that his hair grew out coarse and his nails turned into claws,
Walked on all fours.
and that he drank the dew of the earth in the morning, and like he was literally in the wilderness, like sounded like a werewolf. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not a far stretch. And also you have the I know it means something else, but it's like the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's like, who knows?
yeah,
Well, you're saying you think it's a metaphor?
No, I'm saying it. I mean, it obviously is a metaphor for what we commonly use it for, but now it's just like,
Yeah.
What type of clothes did John the Baptist wear?
camel hair.
Wait, John the Baptist was a
It's a joke.
Hot take. No.
Skinwalker into Hamlet's.
It's a joke.
That was good.
Thanks. Have you seen The Northman? That movie, The Northman?
Dude, it
Dude,
might be
you
a little
would
scary
love
for
it.
you.
Never seen anything.
It's amazing. But there is the scene with the guys dressed in the wolf's pelts or whatever. They're that type of bear seeker. They're called Ulf Hafnar.
Yeah.
Ulf Hafnar.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm bringing that into my vocabulary.
But it says that they were Odin's elite, Odin being the god.
Yeah.
And it said that they were warriors fought wearing wolf skin instead of armor, said to move and fight like wolves, howling in packs, shrugging off blades in fire. And the legends say that enemies claim they would literally shape-shift into wolves mid-battle. Yeah.
I mean, just imagine seeing that for the first time. Being a villager, and then they just bust through the gates, and then you're just like, oh, great, we're going to die by some Vikings. And then they turn into wolves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so scary.
It's like, that's scary enough, but if you see a man turn into a wolf right in front of you,
Dude, if I see a man winning and he howls, that's enough.
I know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I always howl when I fight.
And dude, the flex to not wear armor, to just be wearing a pelt, like reminds me. I think it was a Vietnam War guy. He was known for like just being insane and like winning and stuff. But he painted. They had enemy snipers that couldn't hit him, so he painted a target on his helmet and like literally made it back. But it was like a mockery of how elite he was compared to.
I was forced to.
What if it was that actually wasn't an actual story? I'm just like subtly referencing. You're like, guys, watch a movie.
We usually became the greatest ping pong players in the world.
What if we just started putting furries on the front line?
Dude, I'm telling you, they probably would commit.
They would probably just turn into the real animal.
I mean, it's a risk I'm willing to take.
You know, like furries?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
No furries, right? Pull a flip.
Stop.
We need furries fighting our battles.
Please.
Yeah.
You know that that's that Shane Gillis joke is that he came out. There was this like big commander in the army, and he retired. And he came out. No, he didn't retire. He came like out on social media, like outside of his army stuff, that he was a furry. And then it's like, and everyone like all the other like countries were like mocking America, and he's like, who are you more afraid of? Like it's like this guy is, that's how he acts in his daytimes. Like, and he has a gun, and he's like, this guy's not afraid of anything.
This guy literally thinks he's a wolf.
Yeah, it's like, what do you like? I'd be terrified of that.
That is scary.
Yeah, it would be so scary.
Oh, yeah, the Ulfhafnar.
I mean, I'm picturing that, just especially like wow, we watched the Northman this morning. Just
You
off
watched
screen.
it this morning?
I mean, we just had it rolling.
I'm
and
about
it was
ready.
just so.
You are?
I'm about ready for a rerun. You should
It's
watch
not
it.
for the faint of heart.
No,
it's
it's like
very.
it's dark and like,
Really?
but it's like pretty. Awesome.
Is it like
What is your-
Gladiator?
No.
It's
No.
like if
It's like a gothic gladiator.
Like A24 did it. The guy, not A24, the guy.
Yeah.
it's very touches of 300 in it too, like over dramatized stuff. I mean, yeah.
But it pushes you in and immerses you into like that Viking
Viking
culture.
Yeah.
Like the witches and stuff, like their ancient rituals and things like that. And the fight, but just the fighting. And the storyline is so good. It's all
Okay.
about
Yeah.
it's all about vengeance, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'll watch
Yeah.
it.
I am your vengeance.
What is your heritage, Jake?
We were actually just talking about that before we started rolling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did, yeah. I'm Irish. I'm part Irish. There's a school in Ireland called the Hutchison School of Grammar.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We learned that at a restaurant from an Irish waiter.
Was that
talked to.
before or after you learned about your vocab? Like you started your vocabulary journey?
Right around the same time, actually.
That's
Funny
so
enough.
cool.
Yeah, it was.
Continue to hear.
Yeah, we're in like a super dark restaurant. We meet this super Irish guy. My aunt just like is talking his ear off, and he tells us that we have a school in Ireland. That's where he's from.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I'm that, and then Czechoslovakia. I don't know
Oh,
what
cool.
they call it nowadays, Czech Republic, but from that region right there,
Very cool.
Czechoslovakia.
I bet that's where you get your height. I don't think Irish people are typically as tall as.
Really?
Or I would wouldn't be saying.
Your little people.
Yeah. Looking for our
Oh,
pot of
yeah.
gold.
I forgot about that. I'm not super in touch with my Irish heritage.
You need to
so
go. You need to do your pilgrimage.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I might do that. I'd rather go to Czech Republic.
Yeah,
Or-
probably.
I'm also Native American too, part
Very
Native
cool.
American, so I can't grow a beard.
Oh, skinwalkers, am I right?
Dude, I could do it all day.
But I did look up. Each continent has their own. Like so, Africa they have the leopard men, and then they have hyena men in Ethiopia, which their stories are men that literally turn into hyenas at night, and it's tied to witchcraft.
Imagine them laughing.
Dude, I don't
I'll-
have any doubts about this.
Yeah, I wonder if it like because they all have the hide of the animal they turn into, but what if it had absolutely nothing to do with ritual with the animal, but was just literally like touching physical fur. You're like, I'm just picturing a wolf pack, skinwalkers going out to do something, and one of the dudes grabs the wrong pelt.
Trust isn't hoping, it's knowing. With a world-class network where technology brings visibility to every step. One more reason, UPS is the most trusted shipping brand. UPS, the unstoppable. You want this?
Yes, sir. I worshiped you growing up. My training could be a little unorthodox. You're gonna have to sacrifice.
What if I say no?
Everyone's like turning into
The dachshund.
Yeah, there's like a squirrel. Like, dude.
The scroll would actually be really good for that. Yeah. I mean, imagine like how irritating it would be to like just crawl over people. Yeah, just legs, fight.
Yeah.
You're dropping your sword.
By your ankles.
It's actually not a bad strategy if you have some. It's a good sidekick.
But China and Japan both have a similar skinwalker type thing, except it's a fox that turns and shapeshifts into a human. And it's often a trickster or seducer. It's called the kitsune. And then in China, it's called the Huli Jing. Huli Jing.
That's what I.
Panda Bono.
Holy Jing is whatever I say whenever I stop my
Dumb.
But we got skinwalkers with every culture. We got dragons, and we got star people, dude.
And
Vampires.
And giants. How do all these people come up with the exact same story when they have no contact with one another for
Yeah.
hundreds of years?
Yeah.
I can't explain that. That's so weird.
I think it's forbidden knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like when your brother lived in Africa, like the witch that would turn it was a snake.
Yeah, so there's this.
African witchcraft.
Yeah, I think it was actually in the Congo. Like one of his friends there talked about there's this forest and it was known for all the witch doctors to go into this forest. So like, if you weren't a witch doctor, you didn't go into this forest. But apparently, this guy witnessed a literal witch doctor walking to the edge of the forest and then turning into a snake and going into the forest.
Whoa.
And it's like,
That's cool.
It's bad, Jake.
Bad.
It's scary. It's bad.
Why? That's pretty cool, dude.
No.
I'm just thinking. My dad always says if you could be any animal, you can be a pelican. I wonder if I could contact some of those African fellas and see how he can turn himself into a pelican for a couple days.
Why a pelican?
Just like flying over the ocean, diving on schools of fish. Think about that when you're at the beach and just watching pelicans flying.
Dude, when they're diving too in the ocean.
Yeah,
Dude, it's stupid.
dive
Why
bomb
not
and
turn
call
into
it.
a fish?
Because
Get
of the
eaten by a
pelican.
pelican. Gotta be the predator, Lily. Can't be the prey.
Dude, speaking of hidden knowledge, I have a story about an intentional cover-up of the, how do you think you say that? Top left.
Dolmen of Guadalajara.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. The Dolmen of Guadalupe. No, it's a Spanish Stonehenge. Literally, this is the craziest thing. I was kind of struggling for what I was going to talk about because I've been remodeling my bathroom all weekend and found this morning, and it turns out it's actually crazy. So there's this dude in 1926, Hugo Obermeyer. I'm pretending I'm saying that right. But anyways, he uncovered this stone mound in Spain on the edge of a river because the river dried up. And 3 years ago, it dried up again. And they were able to start like studying it even further. But check out this photo. You see that?
Wow.
Do you see how this thing is like actually looks like a Stonehenge in the middle?
Yeah.
So those stones are around 2 meters tall, and they align with solar events.
Wow.
And so literally, it's they don't know, they date it to 5,000 years old. And you see how there's like an entrance?
Yeah.
When you first go into this entrance, there's one stone that sits at the mountain that has a serpent carved or marked in the front of it, and on the back side they believe it's a human. Modern interpretations, which is long after this stuff was first discovered, they say, well, that's actually the river. But the guy who did all the study and actually has published works on like ancient like cave drawings and stonework, he's the one who's like, no, this is a serpent. But anyway, so that's in 1926 they discover it. And then there's a dictator, I believe it's in the 60s, who's in charge of Spain. Forgive me if that date's wrong, and there's a great guy in charge of Spain back then. But whoever it was at whatever time period, years later, as a dictator, is a big advocate for Catholicism and is actually known for like making intentional actions against anything that was pagan or occult, and wanted to like completely remove any history. And the problem with that, like, I'm not saying we should elevate paganism.
Yeah, but you want to. There's ancient discoveries made with that stuff.
Right. And so in 26, the first guy who discovered it, what he found was a mound. He found a mound where the lake, it was dried up right on the edge. And he removed stone after stone after stone. And as he moved them out, he documented finds the stones, and then they come in, and then he says, we need to advance the technological, what is it called, like electricity and water, it's like hydroelectric something power. So he builds a dam up the road and intentionally floods that entire plain, so you can't get to it.
So even today, it's still flooded?
3 years ago, it dried up.
Oh, okay.
It's been refilled. And so every time it dries up, they try to study, every time it dries up, they try to study it again. But the excuse, they say, we're just trying to build society up so that we can advance.
So there's like little information on this thing, right?
Because they can't research it unless it pops up, and it's like, oh, it's dry. We need to like legislation. Let us preserve this, and then it fills up again, so they can't study it. But it lines up. Was it the equinox,
Yeah,
or whatever?
Equinox.
Break free with the new Opera GX, a browser that puts you in control with a brand new design that.
And it mirrors other monolithic sites that have like burial and like afterlife significance. In one of the articles, Göbekli Tepe is mentioned, but literally the guy was a Catholic advocate and was known for like anything pagan, get rid of it. And so it makes sense that he would intentionally position the dam to flood that out.
Wow.
So they have no idea what civilization or like when it was first created.
Anything I saw the general consensus is 5,000 BC. But 4,000 to 7,000 is kind of the range that you see. Bronze era, they don't know the original creators of it for sure.
That's so strange.
But they do believe it to be similar to the other monolithic sites you see around Europe.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, this one says uncovered a 7,000-year-old megalithic monument, making it 2,000 years older than the pyramids and Stonehenge. But we all know the pyramids are way older than we think.
Well,
right.
Hold on.
We all know that. That's
We all
just common knowledge at this point.
3.5 billion years old.
Mr. Beast knows.
Yes, he does.
Speaking of what Mr. Beast knows, did you? Okay, so we just did this
I thought you were
video.
going to commercial.
I know.
No,
That was commercial.
we need to go to commercial because I gotta pee. But
Same.
he did this whole thing of like underground nuclear bunkers, like
Yeah,
the
saw that.
$1 to $5 billion. He went to the bunker that we've talked about when we were talking about the Denver airport.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
You know that one that's in Colorado.
in the mountain.
He got access to it.
What is this guy into?
He's an asset at this point.
I think he is. I think they're literally saying we want to just debunk all of these other theories, and it's like, who else better? Who's more influential besides Caleb Heron?
Yeah.
Than Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
I mean, he wasn't allowed to film a lot. Like,
Yeah.
they kept on saying, okay, you can't film this part. Because it's literally, I mean, but, dude, the
But
stuff that they
how
did.
do you get that clearance?
That's what I'm saying.
Or why?
Who do you contact? They have to be contacting him.
Like,
Yeah, proactively.
if you want to be, like, all secretive and stuff with this thing of, like, he's the #1 YouTuber on Earth. And they're like, yeah, you get full access.
What did he say about the bunker? Did they say anything about, like
I mean, it's a
big-
command center. It's meant for, it's like buried. I don't even know how far they said into the mountain, but they said you could literally drop the most powerful nuke on top of it and it would not destroy it.
Golly, you know they have more, too.
Oh yeah,
Gotta have more.
they have a subway in there.
What?
Yeah,
Really? Do they
It's
still
that
have $5
big?
footlong?
yeah, it's huge.
Wait, I thought you meant like an actual subway. Like a train subway.
No, like a subway restaurant.
like eat fresh.
That's amazing.
I
That's
said,
even
could
better.
you imagine being a subway worker and you just have to go into this underground bunker every day?
Yeah.
What's comforting to know is that if our entire species suffers nuclear winter, Subway will live on.
Subway will be there.
I think that's interesting. They chose Subway.
I know.
I know.
They gotta
God,
update.
that's weird to me that
That should be a
Subway hasn't gone
conspiracy.
out of business.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
they
it's
have.
being funded by the government.
It has to be. I'm saying, I'm like legitimately serious.
What if
Like,
they are
They're only
keeping
in
them-
gas stations now. Like,
What if they are literally just keeping them afloat just because that's a restaurant in this bunker?
Yeah, we can't get rid of it.
Like they're funding Subway.
Yeah, and then the whole Jared Fogle. They probably did that like 30 years ago, and then Jared Fogle messed up. They're like, "Dang it, Jared! You gotta
Or-
figure this out."
Or maybe
Keeping it.
or maybe he found out something about the bunker and they blackmailed him.
Oh! Release Jared Fogle. No, we're not doing
No. We take that back.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking about releasing Jerry, though.
I have a fun story.
Oh, cool. What is it?
It's we
Tell us right after this, because we gotta not go anywhere. Yeah.
What was that?
D now.
Did you know that we have new customizable templates on SundayCool.com?
Wow, that's fantastic. What are they all about, Andy?
Listen, we know people are throwing events like D Nows. You know, they're having overnighters. They're having all this stuff. And listen, we've got new templates on SundayCool.com.
All this
from our
stuff.
amazing art team here at Sunday Cool. We got templates that you can customize fully that are for basically themed for fall. They're perfect. And also for D Nows and literally every other event you could possibly think of. And even seasons, Josh.
And even seasons, Andy. D now. Did you know that you should go to Sunday Cool?
How'd you do that?
Beatbox. I learned from the best.
Who's the best?
Bill Beatbox.
Bill Beatbox? That's why they name it Beatbox?
Yeah, Bill Beatbox. He is the
Cool.
founder of beatboxing.
Whatever happened to Bill?
Died.
How?
Got locked inside a box.
Could beat that box, could he?
No, that's not funny.
I was just making a
He
joke. I was trying to
died.
Okay, I was just making light of the
I
situation.
know, but
trying to,
it's not, don't make light of anything. Bill meant a lot to the community of beatboxers.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I just found out, obviously, about him, so I didn't know.
At least he went the way he wanted to go, getting literally beat inside of a box.
I couldn't hold it. Couldn't hold it. I'm sorry, Bill. R.I.P. Bill. SundayCool.com. This is for you, Bill.
The giving pump is something Shell came up with. It was kind of a no-brainer for us. People kind of get excited about it. It doesn't cost them any more money, but they're...
Hey, you were episode 150, and now you're episode 160.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. I like numbers. I'm big about numbers in certain ones. So 150 was cool. I was like, dang, that's special.
So maybe every 10 episodes you come back.
I would love to.
All right.
What's your favorite number?
33.
That's my question.
33.
And my friend just turned 33 yesterday.
He's turning 33 in October.
I
And
know.
also, that was the year that Jesus died.
I know.
And was
I've
raised
always
back to
thought
life.
about
What?
And was raised back to life.
What? I haven't
And
got to
came
that
back
part
to
yet.
life.
You spoiled it.
that. That was amazing.
I'm glad you liked that.
Dude, that was good.
I'm not even going to finish it now.
Speaking of Jesus dying for our sins, we did go to Orthodox Church this weekend.
Yeah. You told me about
Wild.
it. Pretty cool, right?
Really?
Culture shock.
Were they dressed in suits?
No, they were.
Some of them had fancy outfits, yeah.
Yeah.
Orthodox Jewish?
No.
No,
Eastern Orthodox Christian.
It was a Greek Orthodox church,
Oh, okay.
specifically.
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar.
They were speaking Syrian, they were speaking Russian, a little
Really?
bit of English.
Yeah. So one of the priests there was from Syria, and he was speaking in Arabic in some parts. And then there was another priest there that was from Russia, and he was speaking Russian at some parts, which is a cool concept because they're like, when they do the worship and singing, they don't face the crowd; they face the cross and stuff. So it's like they are worshiping, and so they're singing their own like native tongue. I was lost.
The chanter, the chanter was Palestinian too. The guy,
Yeah.
the singer guy, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty lost.
Long service too.
2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw another guy though on TikTok that went. He was a Protestant and he went to Eastern Orthodox, but he went to the beforehand part too. So he
Wow.
said I got there at 7:30, because they do like before every liturgy they sing for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And he said I was the only one in there. And he's like, "Am I?" And he's like, "Yeah, this priest was just singing." And he's like, "I was just in there for 2 hours, and then they started reading stuff, and then more people started coming in."
That's
said
pretty
I was
cool.
lost.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but there's a lot of really cool things about it.
What'd you learn?
They are reverent as the heck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's something the modern American Christian church could learn.
Yeah.
It always drives me crazy when you have like, I don't know, I guess it's just maybe a personal preference, but like worship or something like that where they have like the band on the big screen. I'm like, can we not just have the words?
Yeah.
Sometimes, or just like, I don't know. I think it's just so much.
Like a distraction.
Look at us. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think there's a cooler way to go about it.
The cool concept of what they believe, which I really think it's the coolest thing. They believe that when they are worshiping, it's literally heaven and earth. It's like the veil is getting thin to where they're like literally worshiping with God, to God, with the angels, with the saints.
Yeah.
All in the room. That's why they have all the icons and stuff all over. Like their churches are beautiful.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
and I'm
gosh,
like, this is a
insane.
really cool just idea of just like real reverence and worship, real reverence in the Eucharist, like communion and
Yeah. You said
Yeah.
everyone shifted their bodies as the communion was brought in, right?
yeah, and then when the
You're literally
communion passed,
looking at
everyone bowed to it, you know.
Did they have a fog machine though?
No, they do have incense.
See, that's like the old-fashioned.
The
fog
ancient fog machine.
Yeah. See, people complain about fog machines nowadays, but it's like, I mean, they're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Just-
look at the early
it,
church.
it looks cooler
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
No
We're
electric
gonna-
guitars.
In a couple of years, we're gonna have like full-on non-denominational churches, like doing like the flag twirlers. We're gonna have people doing it with the incense.
Incense. Yeah, it was cool though, and they were very nice, very
Very nice.
welcoming.
That's
They did put a little pin on us because they're like,
Like Disney style?
yeah,
This is my
because they're like,
place.
you guys are like, you're new,
Yeah.
and so like if you have any questions, people can help you, whatever.
That's cool.
I also think it was a way to keep track of us so that we don't take communion.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't serve these
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, they say on the pamphlet though, like if you're not part of the Eastern Orthodox Church, we regrettably have to ask you not to partake in communion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they have exclusivity in Christendom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that they described it, they said, regrettably, a consequence of the division of the church requires that you do not take communion if you are not an Orthodox Christian. And to them, Orthodox, obviously, it represents a denomination, but Orthodox means truth. So they mean true Christian.
Sounds like some semantic
Yeah.
tomfoolery.
Well, that
I mean, the
get-
Bible is very
To
like
me-
clear on like
On
playing.
being a real Christian in it, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Understanding their reverence for the Eucharist, they're just not going to play around. They're not going to like offer it to somebody that isn't.
Also, because that verse that says you drink condemnation on yourself by
Right.
partaking in it, and so like, in a way, it feels like they're kind of like protecting you from
Yeah.
drinking
That's
condemnation
just a,
on yourself.
That's just a bold rule to
Yeah.
be like us.
We got here first. We did it.
No, she's right there.
Good morning, guys.
You wake up, good morning, it's a brand new day. Blue skies above, it's a perfect day.
There's more than one way to celebrate a life. Each one of us has a unique story. Whether someone was known for baking great cakes or another had a passion for collecting vintage cars, we can help tell their life story in a meaningful way and customize a tribute around what made them special. So how do you celebrate a life? Gregory B. Levitt & Sons Funeral Homes and Crematory, a family serving families worldwide.
Or you're not.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I really liked about it. There's some things I still struggle with it,
Yeah.
you know, but
I did a little history diving, and it's interesting going back and looking at, you know, where the Catholic Church and them split, and then Martin Luther comes in to basically do what they were trying to do.
yeah.
In a way.
Well,
Different, but in a way.
Martin Luther held the Eastern Orthodox, he called them Greeks at the time, but he held them in really high regards.
Yeah. I mean,
He
he
tried
was
to team up with them against the Pope,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're just like, no, we're good. We still
Well, thank
here.
you.
No communion for you, Luther.
We still here. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
I love the art aspect though. Like
Yeah.
you said, it was like decked out and like painting.
crazy.
And that's
Really?
something that I also need to understand, because I mean, we know from the Old Testament like idol worship is something that the Lord rejects, but they talk about like how they venerate these images and like blessing them, and they're not saying that these images are like autonomous. They're just saying like it's this image bore witness to the likeness of Christ is what they're basically alluding to. And why would you not celebrate that? Why would you not celebrate and worship the Lord through art, which I can get on board with? But how do you dance the line? And a guy I was listening to this morning was talking about how it's like, that's a heart posture question.
Mhm,
Because if you're worshiping the icon, then you don't even know what's going on, you know?
Yeah, there's more problems then.
Yeah. So, yeah, very interesting. I have a lot of questions.
Lily said she was hoping for me to get like a revelation when we were there.
I was hoping you'd have a vision, literally, like witness to heaven, like
But what
console
was
above
funny
us.
because there's, I mean, it was huge ceilings, and like at the top there's like a dome, and it was just Jesus's face just like looking down, and there's like two little windows up there. And at one point during the service, like when they're doing the singing and chanting and the incense, I mean, the sun just went boom right
Whoa.
in my face, and I'm like the only one. like,
Lily's like, this is it. This is it.
it's happening.
Tell me what you're seeing. I'm gonna write it down. Lily, help.
Yeah, nothing happened though. I was just confused and had a headache after.
Just really regretted not bringing my sunglasses.
Yeah, but you have to stand a long time.
Like you're standing the full 2 hours, basically. Standing or
Really?
kneeling, basically, yeah.
Isn't it kind of convicting though when you partake in a service like that and you realize you're like, there is a point where you're starting to go like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
When does
Oh,
this
yeah.
end?
Well, I'm like, it was a challenge for me because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Thales is a global leader in cybersecurity, securing what matters most.
I really just want to like sit down for a second. But there was a lady in the front row. She had to have been 95 years old. Stood the whole time like, she can.
I know,
I
yeah,
know.
and like arthritis or something too, you could tell, and she's just there worshiping. You're just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like when I did Secret Church with David Platt, and it was like 9 hours, and he continued to remind us that the Secret Church, like globally, where he was like sneaking into countries, he was like reminding people that the Christians he was meeting with were so desperate for the word that he would like finish a chapter, finish a verse, and they'd be like, and then what? And he like kept reminding us that like there are people who are hungry for the word, and
Yeah.
we're literally all thinking about Waffle House. It was like
Yeah.
6 till 3 in the morning, and
Dude,
we were
it's
like,
so real. Yeah.
yeah,
People who like literally walk miles through tunnels.
Yeah.
With their back hunched just to listen to the scripture being read by candlelight.
Yeah.
And that was enough for them.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like, do we love anything in our world?
Yeah.
That much?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There was Bryce Crawford, that guy, the young kid who does a lot of preaching and evangelism.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was at a big conference one time, and no joke, they started worship and started the music and everything, and he's just like, I just wasn't into it. He's like, I just wasn't into it at all, and he was kind of sitting there and had a bad kind of attitude about it. Looks over, and there's the handicap section, and all these kids that are in wheelchairs. There's a person doing the signing for the deaf, and all these kids are just like crying and worshiping. And he's like, okay, who am I? Like, who am I to be like, oh, I'm not into it. It's like, you got to pull out what you can.
Yeah.
So good.
That's super good. It's also really good. Question Corner with Lily.
Where the questions are fresh on her mind.
Wow, you guys sound really excited.
Are you kidding me? This is my favorite segment in the world.
I've never been more excited in my entire life.
I thought so. I really got a doozy for you.
Oh, I'm not even ready. Buckle up.
Oh, click. Let's hear it, Lo.
Let's go.
All right. Would you rather
Okay.
Yes.
have a magic van that can teleport you anywhere you want and time travel anywhere you want,
Cool.
Okay.
or a magic ring that when it touches a book you absorb all the knowledge inside?
Ring.
Whoa, what a good. That was an amazing question.
That is an amazing. That's
That
actually
was
a fun
so
question.
good. That is fun. But she wanted that reaction.
Yeah, that's right. That's amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Be careful what you ask for.
I would choose the ring.
The van.
Can you use the van like anytime? Like it's just
It's your
just in
van.
your driveway. You can go anywhere anytime.
It's your van. You can teleport or time travel.
Ooh.
So you can it's basically like gaining
And
knowledge
or time
through lived experience, or you can experience knowledge through others who have written books.
Yo, but if your van pops up in like the Aztecs, you're dead.
I know. But you
Or it's like in the middle of a volcano that it's not
I
there
know.
now. It's like, I'm going book because it's a safer choice, right? But the
that'd be
van
really
would be
cool.
so cool.
Yeah.
Imagine
That'd
just
be
touching a book and be like, oh, I know everything.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
joy in reading a book, like going and sitting in a hammock by a lake.
Speak for yourself.
And being calm and reading a book. It's nice. It's nice to go on that journey. Imagine just watching a movie in half a second. You miss everything, all the good and the bad. You just.
But I'm thinking nonfiction. That would be hilarious to be that person who just picks up books that it's like, oh, this looks interesting. Oh, Sally dies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't read
dead the whole
nonfiction.
time. Okay, no worries.
Well, you can take the ring off too.
Ah.
So if you want to read a book,
savor a book.
Okay. Does it measure your heart rate and stuff too, or do you have to
Sure.
like take off your aura ring?
You could pick. You could do all the things.
Okay. I'll
Yeah,
do a
'cause it-
van.
Okay, cool. I think I would do the van too.
Where do you go? First place, Jake. Where would you go if you had the van?
The Viking time where the guy transforms himself into a bear. That's what I immediately thought. I'd probably park on the side of the woods so they don't see me like the Aztecs. They'd probably kill you if they saw a van.
Yeah.
So I'd park out of the way a little bit in the shade and then walk over and see if I could see that guy bearing out. That'd be cool.
What's cool about a van is that it has a lot of seats too, so I bet you could take your friends.
Yeah.
I do have a couple friends. And then you could battle too if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could participate if
Be
you wanted
fun.
to change history.
That would be kind of cool to participate in like a old age war. As long as you know you're not going to die, but that'd be sick to be a Viking.
It would be.
I sent this thing to my brother and sister, but I can't find it. But someone said, "Do you think Hitler did all the terrible things that he did because there's so many people from the future popping up in his room as a child trying to get rid of him, and they weren't able to do it, so it just messed him up?"
Yeah, he's like, just imagine like Adolf Hitler as a baby, and there's like future people in futuristic clothing just show up in his room, and they're just like holding up a gun. And they're like, I can't do it, and then they disappear.
It's like,
so that's why
What?
he chose the life he did.
that's a chicken and the egg question.
Yeah, so funny.
Insane.
Such a funny concept. Speaking of Aura Ring, did you guys hear about Aura Rings?
Yeah.
No. What do you mean? They selling data or something?
Big time.
Pretty much.
I mean, who isn't at this point? What are we doing?
They've teamed up with a company.
What is
Ancestry.
Can
The
we start?
bad one.
Can we start from the beginning? What is an Oura ring?
It's like a fancy Fitbit that measures like basically everything. A lot of women use it for like fertility and stuff too.
Dalton Cobbs, I think, that was the one he liked, right?
Yeah.
He
What
could
does it
stop
measure? It
talking.
measures like fatigue. Yeah. Fatigue. I mean, like everything.
Okay.
Biometric data.
Shout out Dalton. Congrats on your new son.
Baby.
But they've teamed up.
It's in process right now.
The conductor's forces are rampant in the Plaguelands. We're sending you in to investigate and take action. Be ready for anything.
Continue.
They've teamed up with the lovely company Palantir.
I literally was going to guess Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
Come on!
They're working. Well, so the Department of Defense, they're taking Oura rings and giving it to U.S. soldiers. So it's like it's sketch.
Yeah.
That a company is involved, but the Department of Defense, they're using the Oura rings for soldiers to collect biometric data, but they have to use Palantir's security systems to keep that data secure.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be weird loopholes in access
For sure.
and they're like, no, it's not going to collect the data of everyone that has an Oura ring, and it's like,
guys, trust us.
come on,
Guys,
we
trust
wouldn't,
us.
we would never do anything like that.
Honestly, that idea didn't even cross my mind. You guys are coming up with these.
Yeah, I mean, we do read your texts and emails and listen to all your phone calls, but we would never collect your biometric data.
What are you talking about?
You guys sound crazy.
You sound nuts right now. I'm leaving. Put on this ring.
You're scaring me.
But this is probably exactly what RFK was talking about. The wearables.
Yeah.
He says, I want everyone wearing a wearable by 2029.
Yeah.
And it's like, how hard is it for people to be like, if the government issued rings
Yeah.
for people, it's like, listen, this is going to be great. You can link it to your healthcare. It's going to be awesome. Like, it's wonderful for you guys.
Yep. So they passed this thing in August 2025. Aura revealed it's partnering with the Department of Defense, and their approach involves leveraging Palantir's FedStart platform to enhance data security for military use. So
Fun.
yeah, Palantir, they're just like, wow.
Full of ideas.
Yeah.
There's no way our phones aren't already doing that though. Like
collecting biometric
well,
data.
because they are to some extent, but like the port on the bottom of my phone died, and I've never thought about using the other charge thing. But the fact that it's an electronic transmitter and I keep my palm on it, like holding it, it's like guaranteed it's taking some sort of info in.
But they want something that's permanently on you.
Yeah.
Something that they can really track.
Well, you hear something really creepy.
Huh.
South Korea just did this study to where, so a child's skull, is thinner than a full-grown adult because it's still growing.
Malleable.
They saw that smartphones, iPhones, the radiation that they put off fully penetrates a child's brain. So as an adult, it barely comes in and penetrates it. But as a child, they literally showed the CAT scans. It's lit up.
Yeah. So all those iPad kids.
It's just radiation just being dumped into their brains.
Man.
Don't they have little things you can put on the back? I forget, they're called PDFs or something, and they kind of block the radiation waves.
Oh, I don't know.
That's cool.
You know about that?
No.
Oh, it's a big deal. I think I'll look it up and I'll get us all one after this.
Thanks.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna have a ton of problems later in the future. That's what's gonna be really interesting because how even they promoted cigarettes and everything like that, and the cigarette companies paid off certain people to make sure that message was never out there. It's like, who knows what's gonna come out in 20 years? Be like, yeah, this was terrible for you.
Yeah. I think it was in
Drink more of my Monster real quick.
I think it was in Indonesia. They just banned all vaping, and the guy, one of the spokesperson, he's like, "Why would we ban vaping but not also ban cigarettes?"
Pick your hero.
And they're like,
Villain,
"No.
I'm not judging.
I mean, come on, let's be
Vaping
reasonable.
will kill you."
Yeah. Cigarette, we're just trying to have a good time.
He's like, logically, why are we? If we're gonna ban this, we might as well ban all smokable whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just gotta make money.
That's just politics.
Dude. And we are a politics podcast.
We are. Welcome to Ninjas Are Politics. Yeah.
Apparently it's rumored that Trump is going to rename the Department of Defense to the Department of War.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds.
Which he's apparently speaking right now. Like we don't like he has that big speech that he's given. So I don't know what he's gonna say.
You know, the White House also said that they want to basically clean the Statue of Liberty and bring it back to its full copper sheen.
Do
That'd be cool. Is that what it originally was?
Yeah, and I like because
I didn't
there's
know
no
that.
like colorized pictures, but it was literally it's copper, and so it's green because of the
Oxidization.
yeah.
Was that right?
Interesting.
But they're saying that it could potentially ruin the Statue of Liberty, like its structural integrity.
Yeah.
Really? How so?
I don't know. I think they want to push back on. They said also it's a complete waste of taxpayer money.
I mean,
it's like
I'm okay with that.
We've
I'm okay
spent
with
it on worse things. I kind of want to see it shined up, a little elbow grease.
They just need to get you glasses, like 3D glasses, so whenever you look at the Statue of Liberty, it's like it could just look bronze.
Yeah.
There also people have been trying to get like Trump on the Mount Rushmore, and they said that like there's a lot of restrictions. Like apparently a president has to be dead for at least 5 years, but they're like there's literally no way.
I can do it in 3.
I can do it in half that time.
No, Mr. President, I don't think you understand.
No, you know what? Let's do it 6 months. No, what? Listen, you don't know what you're saying. But apparently, there's like huge fractures in it, so there's like no way.
Oh, no way.
Could do it.
Have you been to the Mount Rushmore?
No, I haven't been anywhere up north, like close to that.
Honestly, not that impressive.
Really?
It's way
It looks-
smaller in person.
It looks incredibly small when people take like touristy photos.
Looks like a little hill.
You know, I've never seen somebody take a picture of that, ever. Like, everyone takes a picture at Niagara Falls and different places, but I've never seen one of my friends go to Mount Rushmore.
I got a
don't even
picture
know
in front
if
of
it's
it.
How's biz, Ash?
Great, especially with the help of Xero accounting software. I can keep my cash flow flowing by giving customers more ways to pay.
Checkers and Rowley's $4 unbeatable meal deal is getting glowed up.
Yeah, I rocked the drive-thru back in the day. Guess I still do.
Get yours with fries, drink, and dessert. Just $4.
Let's go.
Only at Checkers and Rowley's.
This is different.
You do?
Yeah.
Wait, pull it up.
Yeah.
To me, it would be
I don't know
such
if I believe in
a
Mount
waste of a trip. I mean, no offense to the big historical buffs out there, but it's like that would not be on my list ever. Of like American monuments or something.
No, I would see if I was passing through, but how often? Is it North Dakota? Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Dakota?
Yeah.
Who would you guys put on the Mount Rushmore if you could create your own?
Obviously, Nicolas Cage, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Nicolas Cage,
Bart Simpson.
Nikola Tesla,
Tony's from Tony's Pizza.
and Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Little Caesar.
What about you? Who's your 4? 4 humans that like motivate you and like it was like I want to be like that.
I wasn't prepared for this.
We weren't either.
I know, you're right. Casey Neistat.
Nice.
Without the glasses.
With glasses, probably. Paulo Coelho, the guy who wrote The Alchemist. Maybe David Goggins on some day. Maybe not every day. But today I'll pick him. And then
Jocko.
I drank a Jocko drink this morning. I drank his like energy drink and his protein shake this morning.
How do you feel?
I love him.
Yeah.
It seems to be so much cleaner than other ones. I like him. I would put.
If you had to pick Goggins or Jocko, who'd you pick?
For what?
Just fist fight.
Fist fight.
Who would they win?
Jocko.
Jocko.
He's
yeah.
jacked. David's like toned, but I don't think he's jacked like Jocko.
Did you read
I love
Extreme Ownership?
No.
Have you read it?
What is it?
It's Jocko's business book.
No.
Guess
We did like a study when it was like 1 year. It was like everybody that was in like a management level position had to do a study on extreme ownership.
Yeah, for a t-shirt company.
Literally
Gotta-
nuts. Why were we doing that?
It was crazy. It was pretty intense because it's like nothing but like war stories and then lessons from those war stories.
How you can apply it to your workplace?
Seemed a little intense, but
it was intense.
If a coworker does something crazy, commit a war crime on him.
Yeah. All the males are like, yeah. Chicks are like, why don't we do something like?
I mean, can we just learn how to communicate better? Or is that possible?
What was the like weirdest takeaway? Do you remember? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but
No, I know. I mean, like the lesson is good, right? I
Okay.
mean, it's definitely something that's like lost. I feel like in our nation, it's just becoming more and more scarce. It's just this idea of like, taking ownership and like, and championing something. It's so easy, especially like when you make a mistake, to be like, oh, well, these are the factors. These what he's challenging you with is saying like, oh, this is what I could have done better and learning from it.
Yeah, not quit deflecting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good way to live. I heard it from somebody else, but I heard it described as everything is your fault. So I started to live like that, and like anytime something would go wrong, well, what did I do? What did I not prepare enough? What did I not do enough of before this happened to realize this was going to happen, or to prepare my team for this? Like, something goes wrong, I could easily be like, dude, what the heck?
I know.
Or I could be like, well, I didn't prepare
Yeah.
for this, or I didn't do enough of this. And it's a way better way to live. You never get mad at people. You never blame people for stuff. You just keep getting better and better.
I know, exactly. And that's, I think, is a quality of a servant leader. Like the best point of leadership is just like in service to the people that you're in charge of. But yeah, but I mean, like we were literally reading like war stories as a company.
Speaking of war stories, hit us with that beat. Oh, got soundboard.
Nah,
Andrew's got
a reel. He's gonna show us right now.
Right now. Right.
That's good.
I texted it to everybody. So I grew up fishing, and I still love fishing, but I will forever hate picking like pinfish or shrimp up out of a bucket.
I think
This just gets me every time I watch it.
All right, ready?
You got it, Jake?
Yeah. I'm gonna do volume.
Okay.
2, 1.
Pick them up. See, look. None of them bit me.
Okay, Mark, I'm trusting you. Okay.
No way.
Well, you saw me. None of them bit me.
I would literally never.
The perfectly cut scream is always the best.
That happened to me one time. I was in Petco and I was like 9 with my mom, and they have painted hermit crabs you can like buy. And I was like, for some reason I remember I had a flip phone. This was like flip phone era, and I was like, can I hold a hermit crab? And she was like, sure. And I was like, it won't like bite me, right? Absolutely not. Dude, this is terrible. So sorry, PETA or vegans, but I put the hermit crab in my hand. It pinched me and I threw it. I threw it really far.
Did it die?
My mom was like, let's go. We're leaving.
Let's
I didn't get to see what happened.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, that happened to me too. I think too, I like to fish.
17 years ago, Shark Tank started a revolution of ideas.
What if you could control the world around you with just a finger?
Revolutionary technology automatically lowers entire structures underground.
This is incredible. It's the thrill of a motorcycle with the magic of a flying carpet.
That is wild. I am so excited. I want to scream from the rooftops.
Empowering entrepreneurs.
Unemployment rates for the deaf community are about 55%. We've been invisible. We want to be more visible.
What you decide today will determine your destiny.
The life-changing series returns for a new era.
You're Mr. Wonderful, Miss Perfect. She's definitely got her own money.
With more exciting guest sharks than ever before. Chip and Joanna Gaines, founders of Design.
Not like you guys, but I do like fishing. But I remember one time I caught like a brim or something, and I'm going to hold it, and I dropped it, and its spike went into the top of my toe.
Oh, God.
Ouchie.
So now I'm kind of scared to hold them still.
Yeah.
I can see that. You ever got spawned by a catfish?
Never.
I've seen a video of a dude throwing a saltwater catfish at his friend, and the spike on the back
saw
sticking in
that,
his
dude.
back.
I saw that.
That I would not be friends with that guy anymore.
No,
That's horrible.
not a chance.
That's insane. Those hurt.
There's got to be like an infection possibility with that too, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it just seems
Probably
unsanitary.
I saw a dude step on one on the pier.
No, that's
people were
horrible.
like de-hooking and just leaving them. On
Yeah,
the
people
pier.
do that.
And literally, dude was walking, just started cussing.
Dude, that would be really painful. I stepped on a piece of glass one time. My brother broke a glass and didn't clean it up in the kitchen, and I stepped on a piece of glass like that big and it went straight up my heel.
Dude,
it was horrible. I had to pull it out.
Dude, worst fishing accident I've had. We're just gonna stay on this thread because I know Josh and Andy love it. But
fishing?
Flip flops.
I've never fished in
No,
my
I'm
life.
talking about pain, not the fishing. Wearing flip flops, climbing on like a rock jetty, and I was like stepping a fairly large gap. My flip flop fell off. It was just floating on the water, and I was like, I got that. I can like, you know, as I'm stepping, scoop my foot through the flip flop and land on the next step. Miss the flip flop. and the next rock was all oyster shell, and literally caught the middle of my foot and split to the heel.
Dude. Our friend's daughter just did that. Nora did it.
I mean, like a centimeter deep from the middle of my foot.
Oh.
Happened
Those
in
are
middle
dangerous.
school. I still have a scar.
Listen to WAP while I
Those
shake
rocks
my
are
head.
Not to be messed with.
That was when we first moved to Florida, and that's how I learned what oyster shells do. I had no idea.
You want to hear the worst story?
Please, I love one-upping.
This is why I'll never run on a dock.
Okay.
My uncle's friend was running on a dock because they live over in like St. Pete.
I know where this is going.
And you know the tie for the boat?
Oh, okay.
The
Not
little,
where I thought we were going.
What are
Me
those
neither.
called?
Cleat.
Yeah, cleat.
What he said.
Running full speed, barefoot. Hits that thing in
Oh.
between his big toe and his other toe, and it split his foot like probably that much.
No.
He made his foot a flip-flop.
Yep.
How is it that sharp?
I don't know, but it does, yeah, I saw the picture, and it was the worst thing ever.
Did they
I
amputate
don't
it?
remember his name. I don't think so. I think they just
He moved to
Taped it
Africa
back
to-
together.
put it back together.
You guys seen that video where the guy
Yeah, just
slips off the side of the boat, right? And
Oh.
that metal.
Yeah.
And it goes right
Yeah.
into his armpit. It goes through the skin
Yeah.
to his armpit. And I'm like, I can't. I just don't want to do anything when I see these types of videos. I
No.
just want to just stay home.
Dude, this is a one downer, not a one upper. But we were surfing in the winter, and it gets cold enough in Florida to where you can't feel your feet. Like if you stay out for a couple hours, and I'm walking in down the boardwalk, rinse off, go to my car, and I just feel that my foot's getting warm. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, I didn't just pee myself. What's going on? Like, literally, it was like tripping me out. And then it's like pain, and I turn around, and for like 100 yards from the showers to where I am, there's just a blood spot that's gotten bigger and bigger. And my feet were so frozen, I didn't feel it happen. But a nail was coming up from between the boardwalk, and I hooked between my toe and ripped the head of the nail halfway through my foot.
Yeah.
Speaking of ripping your
horrible,
foot in half, don't you have a story about an owl? Owl in the road?
Yes.
What is that? Because I just saw your text to Andy. You said owl in the road.
It has to do with the documentary that Andy's obsessed with. What's it called?
The Staircase. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I haven't seen the documentary, but
It's not
one
that
day I woke up.
No, it's too long.
No, Jake,
It's great.
It's
Way
really
too long.
detailed, and Josh's attention span couldn't do it.
It's like she tripped down some stairs.
He pushed her.
He pushed her,
I
whatever.
thought he didn't push her.
He
I thought
did
an
not.
owl's.
Go watch the documentary.
I'm not gonna.
The owl theory is interesting, but continue. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this after. But one day I was driving downtown at like 5 a.m. It was pitch black, and I'm driving, coming off of the 408, going towards downtown. I just looked up, and that deer has glasses and hair. That's hilarious. I was looking right at
He
me.
shot him like that. He was
Okay.
going to school.
Onward. Hey. Oh. I'm driving, and there's a giant owl in the middle of the road, and it doesn't move. So I pull over, and I'm like, I don't want to touch this thing because they have, like, their talons or they could, like, really injure you. But I don't want it to just sit in the middle of the road. It's just going to get clapped. Like, people are driving, like, 40, 50 miles an hour, pitch black. It's going to get smoked very soon. So I pulled over in the right lane. It's in the dead center of the middle lane, 3-lane road. And I'm like, I grab a fishing rod out of my car, and I try to, like, poke it to move it out of the way, and it's just not moving. But it's alive, and it's standing up. And then
Trust is being able to let go. And every day, millions of businesses come to us and do just that, knowing they're in the hands of the most trusted shipping brand. We hold on so you can let go. UPS. Be unstoppable.
The dream team's about to go Motherfucker! It just sucks up so much oxygen.
I'm also trying to, like, this is really dangerous for me to be in the road too, because you can easily get killed for being in the road. I'm like waving cars to go to the right lane. It's pitch black, they can't see me. This lady in a Tesla, I'm like waving her down, she doesn't see anything. She screeches at the last second, barely misses the owl, stops. She gets out, she's like, please don't kill me, this is my worst fear, please don't kill me. I'm like, I'm not gonna kill you, I promise. She was like, I was like,
That was you like befriended this owl so you could like just lure her in.
yeah,
or
it was a
something?
fake owl.
That was her car stopping for sure. Not
What?
in a Tesla.
Oh, really?
Because they stop. Like their sensors
Ah.
will stop. So if it screeched, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
she was so shook. She didn't have a clue what was going on.
Oh, I bet Palantir's involved.
Could be. Could.
She's like, to you, she's like, don't kill me, please. You're like, I won't, dude. I can't even imagine.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm not involved in anything like that.
I sent you the video. You took a video of it.
I did.
I sent you guys the video. It's crazy.
It was cool. It was so. I'm like, are you a vet? And she's like, no, I'm a nurse. I just love animals. And she had balls of steel. I grabbed a towel out, or she grabbed a towel or a shirt out of her trunk, and she wrapped up this owl and grabbed it with her hands and moved it all the way under this tree. It was crazy, and she was so scared, but she just did it because she loved animals. Her name was Amanda, Nurse Amanda. She was sick, and we started talking. Once she got the owl to like, there's a little forest on the side. And she put it like behind a tree, and we started talking, and she was like, have you seen that documentary where like this lady
So she brings up the murdering.
Yeah, and I was filming, so I got it on video. She was like, this lady got pushed downstairs, and the husband got blamed for it, but they found out later an owl scalped her, and then she fell down the stairs.
Yeah, that was like it was like at the very end of like this 10-part documentary, there was like a 10-minute video on the owl theory. And so it wasn't even like really in the main documentary. They were just like, this is the owl theory. And so because they found something in her scalp, they found like the laceration, but they found like something that belongs to like a type of feather or some type of material that's only found within owl feathers, like on wings and stuff. And so it was in her hair. And so, but they were just outside, so who knows? But it's like a very, I mean, if that was the case, insane. Absolutely crazy. But there's like, you think there would be like feathers everywhere.
Well, and wouldn't a window have been open or something too?
Or trapped in the house. I mean,
Yeah.
he would
Trapped in there.
Yeah.
So what, is the guy still in jail?
I
Or did he
think
get
he
out?
got released.
Well, he never went, I thought.
He was in jail for a while.
Oh, he was, okay.
Yeah. It's a crazy thing. Like, you'll have to watch it. Because there's so many just details to it. I don't know. What do you feel?
Well, so the way that they did that series, it's like a 10-part series, or each an hour long, these episodes.
Oh, wow.
And the way they leave you, I mean, these guys are like with him all the time. They're with his legal team, the guys that are doing the documentary.
Okay.
And you're going, they think he did it.
Yeah.
And they were hanging out with him this whole time because he gets acquitted or whatever it is, and then at the end they do this really sinister segment where he's like, what am I gonna do next? Like he says
No
that,
way.
and then it ends and you're like, he did it! They knew he did it. Because get this, she was the second woman in his life that he was allegedly involved with that fell down a staircase and died.
Because he lived in Germany, and it was like a nanny.
A nanny that
nanny neighbor that was in a house, and they came, and she was dead at the bottom of the stairs.
that they speculate he was involved with and pregnant.
She was pregnant?
Yeah, and
Did he have a wife at the time?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They ended up getting a divorce later.
So why did he do the second one? Did he get another nanny pregnant, but he wanted to stay with her instead of the wife?
No,
He
just,
was doing
their kids were out of the house. They were older. Like, this is an old retired
But he
couple.
had
He's
a
an author.
relationship.
And yeah,
He had an extramarital relationship
That they came out of the
person
documentary.
Of the opposite gender.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
she
that
knew
was
about
hired.
it.
Yeah.
The opposite gender of him or the opposite
Him.
gender of her?
Him. Well, both.
Why'd you phrase it like that?
The same gender. Just kidding. Anyway, I said both.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, really?
That's even more shocking.
And what does that equal? Anyway. Anyway.
Why did that not bother any of us?
I guess it made sense.
You guys are
He's
used to it.
actually a really good listener. That's why.
I mean, I knew what it meant.
Anyway, that's two women like that dying down a staircase. That's a strange coincidence. don't you think?
It is a coincidence, I really think.
Oh, you do?
You think he's guilty?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he seemed very weird. He loved the camera. I don't like. It's one of those people that, like, when you're under that much scrutiny and like you're going to court, it's like he was very dramatic and very. I don't know. He was an author too, so he was kind of like very. I don't know.
That owl was terrifying.
With the help of Xero's small business accounting software, I've got the right information at my fingertips.
So business is a breeze. And I've got bigger plans. Search Zero with an X. Chaos control.
I think something's off. Do you want what I have? You're gonna have to sacrifice.
What if I say no?
It's time for me to show you who I am.
Him. Rated R. In theaters now.
It's so
It was big.
Scariest owl, dude.
It was like 2 feet tall, probably. It was a big owl. It did fly away, by the way. And I called everyone I knew and like vets and stuff. There's a Birds of Prey Center here. Have you guys been there?
No.
The Audubon Birds of Prey Center. It's in Eatonville. And you can go see like all these owls and big birds they rehab. It's really cool.
Oh, cool.
Great field trip to take the kids.
Hey, you gotta take Demi. Demi's subject is birds.
I know.
She's definitely
That's on our list for sure.
Dude, fun story about that place. I looked up, I was driving through Mount Dora and saw a bunch of turkeys during the turkey season in a vacant lot. I went on Onyx to see who owns it because I'm going to try to like get in contact with this person and see if I can bow hunt a turkey in their yard.
Knock on the door.
It's the sanctuary.
No
like,
way.
dang it. It's like no wonder there's like 20 turkeys
I'm
in
glad
Mount
you
Dora.
looked that up.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Don't ask permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
If you would have saw that owl, you would have.
Yeah. Dude, owls are so scary.
Die, devil, die!
I see them all the time. We've like had a lot outside of my parents' house growing up, just on the streets. They're pretty cool.
Dude, and that point in the video when she was putting it down and the owl was just going, looking at her, I'm just like, no, never.
This lady
It was cool.
I'm developing like a profile in my head. She's cracking me up because the first thing out of her mouth when she sees you is "Don't kill me. This is my worst fear." And then she's like, "Have you heard of the staircase?"
Yeah.
She was totally listening to a murder podcast.
Yeah, on the way. She's listening to that podcast and the Tesla stops on its own.
And you're just standing in the road by an owl.
Dude, that's funny.
What a nightmare.
Please don't kill me.
You look at the owl, attack her. She's the one.
She's literally been waiting for this moment, I bet, her whole life.
Dude, you remember when you told the story about how owls actually defecate out their mouth?
Yeah.
Ew.
What's wrong with that?
Did you make that
I've
noise
never,
with the phone?
never seen. I've never seen it happen. Dude, look at that.
That's not real, is it?
Yeah.
It looks really fake.
They throw up all the bones and hair out of their mouth.
Yeah.
So it's not like poop, it's just like
Well,
extra.
The bones are their money. Yeah. Not an owl fan. It freaks me out too that they're silent when they fly.
You know that? They're
Man.
completely
There's
silent.
no noise.
Like you don't hear their wings flapping?
yeah, not at all.
Why? How?
They've tested them like literally with like huge mics and stuff from like perch to perch, and like every other bird you can hear, but it's like owls completely silent.
Awesome.
Well,
you
as
know,
big as they are.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm making a connection right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this connection.
Okay.
No one else has ever done this.
Skinwalker connection.
Almost alien connection.
Connected to aliens, though, so in all the alien movies, there's an owl.
Well, that, but also UFOs. They're always silent because they defy physics. What if owls are doing the same thing? What if they have this supernatural ability to bend space and time around them to where they can just fly without making a noise?
They literally can't explain.
No, they can't.
They can't.
They
Science
literally
can't
can't.
do it.
There's demonic, Andrew.
Are you suggesting that birds are robots and birds aren't real?
No, I'm saying the demons.
I have a theory. What if the Audubon Birds of Prey Center are behind UFOs and they studied owls so much they figured out how they fly with no sound and they're the ones creating UFOs?
Now we're
no
cooking.
Aliens.
Now we're cooking.
Somebody just studied owls very well and figured some stuff out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I agree.
Okay.
I think we
Everyone
figured it
agree
out.
that's a fact?
I think we figured it out, guys.
Okay. All right.
Teamwork.
Down with Audubon.
Down with Audubon.
Would you ever
That
do
sounds- Nothing. Nothing. It was nothing.
No, bro, that was weird. What you just doing?
Audubon also sounds. Isn't that a highway in Germany?
Yeah. The no speed limit. No speed limit.
No speed limit. What goes fast?
Owls.
Foes.
And owls. Autobahn.
Hitler made owls.
We figured it out, and they were ahead of the world in UFO technology.
They sure were. I don't like it,
I don't like it either.
but I love it.
You know what I do love?
Yeah.
Is patreon.com/ninjas or butterflies, where we're going to do an additional episode right after this Jake has some crazy family history that he's going to tell us about.
Oh.
Crazy family history. And I have a video of them detonating a nuclear bomb under an island in Alaska, and everything loses gravity for a couple seconds, and it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Jake's family, or
I thought you were gonna say my family did that. Like,
No.
I haven't seen that video.
Jake's family did not do that. I don't think.
We don't know.
We'll find out on
We don't
Patreon.
know.
It's a
The tournament is here. The new season of Twisted Metal is streaming now, only on Peacock.
I'm hosting a tournament.
We have to win.
Cowabunga. I've been waiting minutes for this.
Oh, my tail? Yeah, it's super warm, and it's very handy in combat. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready. Who gave me this awesome shield?
You are a creature of both the land and sea, just as I am. This whole world could be ours if we wish it to be, little one. Join me in my crusade.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Piers, I think that's completely disingenuous. And I think anyone watching that.
What are you
will know
talking
that.
about?
And so if you will let me, if you will allow me, please.
What
please
are you
stop
talking
interrupting me,
about?
Okay, did you invite me here to interrupt me, or are you going to let
I
me
think you're
answer
being
the
a
question?
complete dick, if I'm honest with you.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's very kind and respectful of you.
It wasn't intended to be kind or
I don't like the
respectful.
hominem attacks.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk has sparked a bitter and reductive blame game between right and left, turbocharged by inflammatory calls for vengeance on the fringes of one side and callous celebrations on the other. Neither side wants to find common cause. Both hold the other side accountable for the febrile climate which led to Kirk's appalling murder. Viral clips appear to show people on either side doing anything other than taking the temperature down. Stephen Crowder's call for violence is one such example, for which he's now issued this clarification.
People may take some clips and tell you that Stephen Crowder is irresponsible, he advocated violence. That's right. I am. I want to be crystal clear about that. I am advocating for lawful violence defensively that has been abandoned for years, and I want it to replace where grace was afforded before.
In a moment, we'll be joined by Joe Walsh to debate these issues, but first I'm joined by Stephen Crowder for what will hopefully be a clarification on his clarification. Stephen, welcome back to Uncensored. As you know, a lot of people believed you were advocating for a violent response. You clarified that now. And people are saying, is that a sincere clarification, or have you just calmed down?
It wasn't a clarification. It was a repeat. And I stand by it. I am advocating for lawful, maybe let me clarify, ruthless violence in defense of us and our own. And if you give me 1.5 minutes, I can make it extra crystal clear if we need to. What you're seeing with Charlie Kirk is what got through. Charlie Kirk lived under a cloud just as I have. It's the reason that I stopped doing Change My Minds, where there were 12 felonious assaults, attempts at battery, and attempts on my life, and I know quite a few, and many I don't, of Charlie Kirk. I want to be clear. I want those on the left to speak freely and to be able to host their events with minimal security as they do now for the rest of their lives. Just as surely, I want them to be deathly terrified of showing up and acting with the increasing violence as they have at our events. And that goes both ways. Hey, if there's a spat of right-wing violence that's spreading across this country, treat those people the same way that we treat yours. But You won't find it. And let me just address a couple of things here. What I think leads to violence, they'll try and blame it on Donald Trump. They'll give us a bunch of reasons. Let me be really clear here. Joe Walsh will say that this is an overreaction. He said that yesterday. He doesn't understand why this is a big deal. That's untrue. He will say that statistically more violence comes from the right. That's provably untrue. He has been stating for days that the shooter was in fact not a leftist and we didn't know. That's provably untrue. He will create a false equivalency between Charlie Kirk and the murder of the Hortmans in Minnesota. That's provably untrue. And finally, he will place blame, as the left and the spineless right does, for all of this on Donald Trump, conservatives, rising figures, and the rhetoric for temperatures in this country. That is provably untrue. Donald Trump ran on Law and Order and won because of leftist violence. All of this, let me finish with this. All of this is by design so that the left and spineless right can make this conversation about conservatives responding to the cold-blooded terroristic assassination and gleeful celebration thereafter of a young man who did nothing more than sit down at a table and allow anyone to speak their opinion. And I know what it's like because I was in that spot. I started it, and Charlie cited it as inspiration. If I could change one thing, and I do believe that I'm partially responsible for this, I've failed people. I've had to do a lot of soul searching. When I did change my mind and started in 2016, the idea was, hey, calling the left on their bluff, civil dialogue with anyone to the tune of billions of plays and hundreds of hours, and it got increasingly violent. And what I didn't tell people, I told people out there, go do this on your own campus, have these conversations. I advocated for it, and Charlie took it to another level. He was unbelievable at it. What I didn't do, I didn't tell people about the threats because I didn't want copycats. I didn't tell them about terrorists from Yemen through Sweden showing up in East Grand Rapids. I didn't tell them about concrete milkshakes. I didn't tell them about my tires getting slashed, about people trying to firebomb my car. And maybe if I would have picked up the phone, maybe if I would have used this megaphone to tell people it's real life out there and the left wants you dead, maybe Charlie would have had a fighting chance. Maybe I could have done more. Right now, I'll tell you this, I see a lot of people out there, Pierce. See a lot of people out there talking about picking up that microphone. And I hope people do, because the alternative is silence. But I want people to know that wherever that microphone is, and whoever thinks about picking it up, you are in the crosshairs. People say bring down the temperature. Okay, how about we bring down the temperature to doing something like, I don't know, sitting down at a table and allowing anyone with a thought or opinion to discuss it rationally? Would that bring down the temperature?
There are two kinds of people in the world. The kind who get the job done with their own two hands, and the kind whose hands are as soft as a little baby's bottom. We tip our cap to the first kind. To the second kind, we say, coochie coo, little baby bottom hands. Northern Tool and Equipment. Get serious.
Because they took his life anyway.
Listen, I know you knew Charlie Kirk well. I feel your passion, I feel your anger, I feel your hurt. It's a painful time. I think everybody on the conservative right in America, it's a very painful time. And I feel that. But in the interest of fair play, which Charlie Kirk would want, we have got the former Republican congressman and the host of The Social Contract, Joe Walsh, joining the debate. Exactly what Charlie would encourage, I think, which is, Joe, you've just heard a very impassioned statement there from Steven Crowder. What's your response?
Oh, I get it, and I feel it, and I appreciate Steven Crowder expressing how he feels. I really do, and I don't know what my fight is. I don't have a fight with Steven Crowder. Steven, good to see you. There's a lot you said about me there in the intro. I don't remember because I'm getting older. I wish I'd written down some of it. I did my best for the past week because I knew Charlie as well, not to say that this guy was a right wing. He came from a God-fearing gun Utah family. He was definitely right, like some on the left did. I didn't know who he was until we had the facts and the evidence. And it's clear, Pierce and Steven, that this was a...
I had the facts and the evidence, and I told you he was on the left from the bullet engravings that we received from a leak, and you said we were wrong, and people on the left said we were wrong, and that matters because the shooter was still out there, and so was the Kirk family. I'm trying to save lives.
Steven,
You gonna save lives, Joe?
Maybe No, maybe some people did. I don't know when I ever said you were wrong anywhere. When
You
this
said
first
we don't
time
know.
I've talked to you, or even
We don't know. We know he's from a white family in Utah, and you retweeted
No,
people,
no,
and you
no,
went
no,
out and said
Steve.
this guy is not a
Let me
left-wing
finish.
extremist.
My friend.
He is. Okay, go
my
ahead.
friend,
You did say that.
My friend, from the moment Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I said we don't know who did it, and once we found out who did it, we don't know why he did it. So let's all wait to figure out
we did
why
know.
he did it.
But we did know.
Yesterday, Stephen.
And I remember you saying that he sold his soul to Trump before the body was cold, and criticizing his wife.
Stephen, let me finish, brother, please. And
Okay,
then
but you
we
knew.
find
Go
out
ahead.
in no uncertain terms, by the way, Pierce, which I think all of us could have guessed, this was a political assassination. This 22-year-old young man hated Charlie Kirk, and so he picked up that gun and he shot him. Clearly, and as you've said, Pierce, it's clear that of late he had become radicalized with leftist ideology. There, now we know it. This will go down in history as an act of left-wing political violence. Yes.
I mean, I would say, Stephen, that is an honest statement there
It's not.
from Joe.
It's not.
Yeah, but is it honest on your side, Stephen? Be honest. Is it honest to say
Yes.
there is no problem with violence on the political right? Because there has been historically a lot of violence associated with the far right in America. That again is just a demonstrable fact. To pretend there's never been any
By
is
what?
to be disingenuous.
Demonstrable
Isn't
fact
it?
by what? No, it's not to be disingenuous. It's absolutely correct. And I understand because I've seen Joe and people of his ilk retweeting these out there. It either comes from Cato Institute or it comes from a recent Economist article. I can tell you how all of those numbers are wrong. Remember the man in Portland? Remember Aaron Danielson, who was shot dead point blank by an Antifa member? Michael Reinhold, who said, we got a Trump supporter, bang, bang, dead. That wasn't listed as political violence. Look at that chart. The year 2020, the summer of love, no political violence from the left. I could go through the methodology, and I have brilliant researchers who have. It is demonstrably untrue. No one is saying there is no violence on the right. What I am saying is that people on the right have to have armed security, flak jackets, an entire strategy when they go out, and those on the left don't. That is verifiably true. What is dishonest is to say we didn't know. You know what else wouldn't have been included in these crime stats? And anyone want to make this argument? You're talking to the wrong guy. The Covenant High School shooting. Audrey Hale. Cato said we included it because it was borderline, even though the police said they didn't think it was politically motivated. If not for the undercover journalism unit of a comedy show right here, no one would have known that motivation. We found it, we leaked it, we processed it, we verified it, and we were met with resistance and threats of lawsuits from the local police department, the mayor, and the FBI. They said it was a lie on the outset, just like they said the engravings on the bullet casings were a lie on the outset. The left lies. They label you fascist. They label you a totalitarian. And how do you deal with those people? Well, you don't do it at the ballot box. We all know that.
It's not just how the news is told, but what's left out, which concerns me. And when a friend in the business recommended I try Ground News, I gave it a go. But honestly, I was impressed. It does something brilliant, which most news platforms are afraid to do. It's an app and a website that lines up coverage of the same story from across the spectrum. Left, right, international, lays it all out side by side. That kind of transparency is increasingly rare and is vital. Ground News helps you to dig in and find the facts by showing you who owns each outlet, what their bias is, and which stories are being buried. It has an especially revealing blind spot feed, which services stories being reported almost exclusively by only one side of the political divide. I want to hear every side before making up my mind. Ground News makes that possible and easy. It's independent, funded by subscribers and not corporate interests, just like my show. And it's a tool that puts the power back in your hands. Go to groundnews.com/peers to claim your 40% discount, the unlimited access Vantage plan, and see what everyone else is missing. That's groundnews.com.
Sick of overpriced quotes and sales pressure? Supply Clinic is the modern way to shop. Low prices, fast shipping, no middleman. One way to order dental supplies is stuck in 1990. High pressure sales, outdated catalogs, no clear pricing. Or just click, compare, and save. That rep counts on your loyalty to overcharge you. On Supply Clinic, sellers compete to win your business. No secrets, no markups, no games. Ordering on Supply Clinic is fast, easy, and totally on your terms. Same trusted brands, authorized sellers up to 20% lower prices than the leading marketplace. Ditch the hassle. Ditch the rep. Shop Supply Clinic.
The SiriusXM app, an immersive listening experience that brings you closer to everything and everyone you love. Music, sports, talk, comedy, news, and podcasts. Subscribe now and listen for free for 3 months. See offer details.
/kids.
Every position that the right holds has been presented as violent, including silence, by the way. I know there's a poster behind Joe Walsh right next to his No Kings poster. In other words, if you're pro-life, it's violence against women. If you're against men and women's sports, it's violence against trans, it's genocide, it's erasing them. If you're against Juneteenth as a holiday, it's violence. You're pro-First Amendment, violence because you're inciting violence. You're pro-Second Amendment, violence because you believe people should be able to commit gun violence. And then if we remain silent, that's also violence. And so people deal with the right with violence. Here's my challenge. Find me one example of a Charlie Kirk on the left. Not an elected official. I'll allow any speaker, any comedian. This century, one example of somebody who was murdered, assassinated, hemorrhaged out in front of his family in cold blood and gleefully celebrated thereafter. And the polls showed that a majority, according to YouGov recently, of Democrats think it's somewhat too acceptable. 38%, 77% of Republicans said not acceptable at all.
Okay, let Joe
What I'm
respond.
saying is that Charlie Kirk was hunted. He was hunted. We are being hunted, and I don't want to see any more dead friends. Violence, absolutely. Lawful, ruthless, defensive violence.
Okay, Joe.
Pierce, I'll just be brief again. The data is pretty clear, and historically it's been pretty clear that there's political violence on the right and the left in this country for years. And I could argue, and I would argue, but I won't here, that there's historically been more political violence coming from the right. But suffice to say, I think you and I, Pierce, would agree, there's a history of... Hey, Stephen, let me finish, man, please.
Please argue it. You can't just make a vague claim and not substantiate it.
Pierce, you and I would agree, for the sake of this conversation, that political violence is in fact a both sides problem. Stephen, you would acknowledge, I think, that there is political violence on, and there has been political violence on the right as well. So why don't we all just condemn it all? That's what we all should do.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't agree with the premise. And I'm having to agree with a nebulous premise because you presented no facts. The very source that you cite, and by the way, I'll make all of mine publicly available. Hold on, I'm finishing now. Let's do it like grown-ups. You can cite your sources online. George Floyd riots, not included. Darrell Brooks, Waukesha, not included. Antifa, not included. Man shot dead for voting Trump, not included. Those numbers are not to be trusted, and neither is someone parroting it. I'll answer your question if you answer one of mine after. Go ahead, please.
Melissa Hortman, the Democratic state legislator in Minnesota, 3 months ago, gunned down by an anti-abortion Trump supporter. Yes or no?
Wrong. How do I know? Because Vance Bolter, the man who did it, wrote in his letter that it had nothing to do with Trump or being pro-life. He blamed Tim Walz. And here's what you also don't see. Did you see anyone at the Hortman's funerals? Vigils spitting on them or pantomiming being shot in the neck? Did you see anyone celebrating the death of them gleefully?
Yes.
Did you see so many professors doing so, showing children a snuff? Really? Point me to one.
Yes.
Point me to one person spitting at their vigil. Let me guess, you're going to go to Mike Lee? How do I predict everything you say all the time? How?
Donald Trump.
He didn't mock the attack.
Let me jump in. Stephen, let me jump in. Stephen, let me give you an example.
Pierce, I don't.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
Hang on. I would give an example where the right behaved very badly, and that was over the attack on Nancy Pelosi's
Spider-Man.
I saw the gleeful responses after that from the right, the memes, the mockery, and so on. I thought that was very distasteful. Would you agree, Stephen?
If you want to argue an equivalency between a man
I'm not asking equivalency.
Underwear,
I'm not saying
and
equivalent.
a man bleeding out in front of his child.
I'm not saying they're equivocal. I'm just saying it's an example where I felt people on the right showed a complete lack of humanity towards the man who'd been attacked because he
Exactly.
happened to be married to Nancy Pelosi, a political opponent. And so it's not
I
like
don't
this
even
never.
think it's.
It's not like this has
I don't
never
even think
happened.
it's. I don't agree. I don't think it's even remotely proportional. Let me ask a question here. This is why I'm giving this message, and this is why I hope people listen and protect their own. Joe Walsh, you're there. Since I answered your question, you're there, Utah, in the crowd. It's not a Mouser, it's not a 30-06, but it's a man winding up a milkshake for Charlie Kirk. We don't know if it's strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, acid, or concrete. Do you stop him? Do you hurt him? That hesitation tells me that you are not amongst us. And cowards are dangerous to have in their ranks.
Stephen,
because it's not a
let me answer
hypothetical,
your
it's happened.
question. Let me answer your question.
Do you stop him? Do you hurt him?
I don't understand your question. I'm sorry. I honestly, I don't.
Someone
What do you
winding up a
mean?
milkshake to launch at Charlie Kirk. You don't know if it's strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, acid, or concrete. You see him before
okay.
anyone else does. Do you stop him and hurt him?
Yes, I certainly stop him. I do all I can to stop him, yes.
If you've been injured, call attorney John Foyne Associates today, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. Tell me something about yourself. You're a team player. Good. What are your strengths? Whether you're picking a lawyer or a new teammate, you gotta find the right fit.
Mike Capel here, Patriot Software's founder. I have a huge respect for small business owners, especially the smallest of small businesses. They do so much. They're under so much pressure and stress. They have to be experts in business specialties like payroll taxes, bookkeeping, and accounting. It's crazy. That's why we created Patriot Software, to make accounting and payroll simple for all size businesses, especially smaller businesses. Check us out at patriotsoftware.com.
Yeah, altered. What do you want me to do? Wolverine altered me.
Good. There's a start.
It's like
That's
you
what
want
I'm
alt, you
advocating.
can't do anything
Every
about it.
single person out there, because we have been living with this shadow over us. And I know, look, here's the thing too, Joe. I understand your rhetoric. I understand where you're coming from. And you, I know that you met Charlie when he was 16, as I understand it, right? He was very, very young. And I understand that maybe you were somewhat of a mentor figure. It's because of the failure of Republicans like you that me and Charlie Kirk exist, who are willing to take back the territory that has been conceded, and we are willing to pay with our lives. We shouldn't have to be. Academia, media, the press, big tech shouldn't be dominated by the left exclusively all the time. Charlie Kirk shouldn't be out there alone, sitting in that chair, taking on all comers. He shouldn't be inspired by some people like me, who are comedians. He should have been inspired by people like you. Instead, he was inspired to go the other way. Maybe that's why he said he sold his soul for Donald Trump before the body was cold. Still want to do the no true Scotsman holier than thou thing?
And Stephen, I'm assuming you would do the same, correct? If somebody were throwing a chocolate milkshake at a left-wing speaker, correct?
No, the reason I bring it up is because we didn't. We didn't,
But
and I've had
would
them
you?
launched at me.
Would you, Stephen?
And the reason...
Would you?
No, I didn't. I didn't,
Would you?
and now I would. Now
Would
I would.
you?
Because now I would. Yes. Have I answered your question? Yes, now I would, and I advocate that everybody else do the same by any means necessary. Yes.
Stephen, common ground. You and I, two Americans, would both stop any politically violent attack on any public figure or speaker that we saw. You and I agree to that. And you and I hope, would both agree that we should condemn all political violence. End of story.
I am condemning, of course, all political violence. It is coming from one side, and the prescription is ruthless, aggressive, defensive, lawful violence on anyone who tries. If someone behaves in a way, for example, I've been sucker punched, I've been collar dragged, I've had attempts on my life, I have been doxxed. If anyone behaves in a way where if they behave that way at a town hall, at a restaurant, you with your family, would result in their severe ass beating, they deserve it at a political rally. They deserve it at a private function and a public speaking engagement. And the right has not been doing that because we've been taking the high road and the left has acted with impunity. That's why you see professors. It's not just that they're showing children a snuff film on repeat in order to create a generation of psychopaths, by the way. That's how you do it. It's that so many professors are doing it because they don't fear any ramifications. You can't find that on the right. Find me one example of a Charlie Kirk, not an elected official, a person who did nothing more than express his opinion and allow anyone else to do the same, who lost his life.
I also think in relation to that I saw Charlie Kirk's producer today getting quite emotional as he talked about the difference, for example, between the reaction to the murder of George Floyd, which I thought was despicable, and the murder of Charlie Kirk, which was despicable, is that one precipitated nationwide rioting and lawlessness as people were so enraged they took to the streets, and the other took to people going to church. You know,
also called me when Charlie Kirk died with a speedball. He mugged a woman with his toddler in the house.
I thought it was an interesting.
George Floyd hurt people.
I thought it was an interesting observation, Joe, in terms of the difference.
And I appreciate that, Pierce. Let me sneak in one more thing before Stephen goes off. Also, the assassination of Democratic Melissa Hortman in Minnesota by an anti-abortion Trump supporter. You didn't see violence after that. And the other thing you did not see after a... Let me finish, Stephen. Let me finish, brother.
The man who blamed Tim Walz. Truth matters. Dishonesty foments violence, Joe.
After a Democrat was assassinated in Minnesota, you also did not see the Democratic Party and the left declaring a war on the right, saying that they did it, the evildoers did it. This is a battle between good and evil. You didn't hear any of that when a Democrat was assassinated. We should condemn both, Pierce. Condemn anybody celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. Condemn it. And we should also condemn anyone using Charlie Kirk's murder to declare some war on half of the country, and this is a battle between good and evil. Both of those reactions are dangerous and despicable.
Final word to Stephen. Stephen, final word to you.
Stephen, you got the final word.
Yeah, wrong. I think using Charlie Kirk as saying that he sold his soul to Trump before the body's even cold. I agree with Charlie Kirk's reaction to George Floyd because the media lied. Lies foment dishonesty. And I'm not calling for a civil war. I made it very clear I want the left to be able to continue to speak without security as they often do. I just want them to be deathly afraid to try what they've been doing with the right for a very long, forevermore going forward. But if we talk about this, hey, there's one time that there weren't riots. Yeah, what about all the times that there were and they weren't registered as violent crime? Charlie Kirk didn't hurt anybody. George Floyd did. Charlie Kirk is very, very different from George Floyd. Dishonesty is what foments, I'll leave you with this, is what foments violence. And you know what? When you say war of good and evil, show me one time where the people who are actually evil are willing to paint a war of good and evil. Because you know what? If it ever comes to that, God forbid, maybe the people advocating for abortion up until and including birth and genital mutilation for children, including hiding them from their parents in the state of Minnesota, maybe they could look around at themselves and say, hey, if this is a war of good and evil, maybe we're the bad guys.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you both so very much. I appreciate it.
Ever heard of a black tie award ceremony for transmission mechanics? The kind of fancy schmancy deal with those little shrimp. Well, there should be one. Because these men and women are the unsung heroes of our society. They aren't afraid to go elbow deep in someone else's problem and get the job done. So, think about that the next time your transmission takes a dump. Northern Tool and Equipment. Get serious.
When you work on cars as much as I do, you learn what matters most. And for me, that's trust. What sets Advance apart is the people. They don't just hand me parts. They help me get back on the road. They've always got the right parts at the right price, right when I need them. Whether you just need your battery tested or you've got years of experience. Advance Auto Parts is right around the corner and ready to help.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
If you're stressed about back taxes, miss the April deadline, or your books are a mess, well, don't wait. The IRS is cracking down. Penalties add up fast, 5% per month, and up to 25% for not filing. Tax Network USA can help. They've assisted
Not
thousands
everyone's
of
going to
Americans,
cater to
from
everything that you
employees
have.
to business
Do something
owners
else
and people
if you
who
can
haven't
more
filed
by
in
yourself.
years. They have direct access to powerful IRS programs and expert negotiators on your side. Tax Network USA knows how to win. You'll get a free consultation, and they may even be able to reduce or eliminate what you owe. So don't wait for the next IRS letter. Call 800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/peers. That's tnusa.com/peers for expert help on your taxes. Charlie Kirk used new media to devastating effect in his mission to mobilize young people of his conservative movement. He understood the power of a viral moment to cut through a complex argument and the great appetite for proper debate. just two of many things we all love about our digital culture. There's plenty of things many of us find repellent about it too. Witch hunts, vile smears we'd not dream of using in real life, and the business of saying things purely to generate attention through rage. Many prominent figures on the right have accused Don Lemon of doing exactly that this week, ironically, for making the very same claim about them.
The thing that is so obvious about it, and I think is so disgusting, is that you don't really care. You don't really care about Charlie Kirk. What you care is that this is a moment that you can use for clicks, to boost your podcast or your streaming show or your radio show or your television show or your news show or your MAGA bona fides with the MAGA group or your political stripes. You can improve it. You can have a moment where you're crying in front of the cameras. You gather all the reporters at the Capitol and you go, and it's your fault, and it's your fault, and it's the left, and whatever.
But Don Lemon is, of course, a former CNN anchor like me, who now hosts the Don Lemon Show, clips of which appear frequently in many popular podcasts. And he joins me now. Don, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you? Good to see you, Peter.
We were both...
Introduction, but it's great to see you.
We were both greatly lamented ex-CNN anchors. In fact, we shared an office. You took my old office, so I feel like we've got a lot in history together. Your reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder has stirred up a lot of anger on people on the right, particularly the clip we just heard where you talk about them not really caring about what happened to him and just reacting for clicks, crying for clicks and so on. I've interviewed quite a few people who are on the conservative right who knew Charlie Kirk well. I've not detected any of that myself. I do think that they were genuinely, utterly horrified by what happened. Do you not think that what you said there was insensitive?
No, I don't. I'm surprised because I was actually taking up for Charlie Kirk. I was taking up for him as someone who died a horrible, untimely death, and that there are people who are out here trying to capitalize off of his death. I don't think it's that much different than what his friend, who is his confirmed friend, Candace Owens, is saying about folks who are using it for political and for career expediency. There are those who are doing it, and there are those who are not. And if you are not, then I don't think anyone who's not doing it took any offense to it. There's an old saying here in America, a hit dog will holler. So the folks who I felt a certain kind of way and that I touched with that statement or those statements, then perhaps they should take a look at themselves. And by the way, as you know, peers, you've been a victim of this. Many of us have been a victim to this. You take a clip, you do a short clip that is out of context, and then you make it into something that you want it to be rather than what I said. I don't see many people on the right at all of me running clips of me saying, I think, it was horrible what happened to Charlie Kirk. It should never have happened. I feel terrible for his wife and his kids. The kids are fatherless. She does not have a husband right now. I don't believe in political violence at all, whether it comes from the right or the left. No one played those clips. What they did was take someone like me that they can demonize. They feel that I'm on the left. As you know, peers, we work together. I'm not on the left. I am not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not on the right either. I have my own mind, and I make up my mind, and I decide on issues based on what I believe in and based on facts, not a certain political ideology.
Well, look, I would say that you're clearly a lot more left than right, surely. I've never heard you espouse the conservative sentiment.
I am a lot more fact-based than I am anything. And so I don't believe you are free to think that I'm on the left. And perhaps in this time that we're in now with the Trump administration and with MAGA, perhaps facts are on the left. And if you deem that being on the left, then so be it. I don't see myself as being a political figure or a figure who's on the left.
It's interesting your characterization about facts, because I would argue that one of the reasons Trump got re-elected against all the odds, if you think about what happened after January 6th and everything else, the fact that he got re-elected, I always felt was three-pronged, right? One was immigration. I think Biden completely dropped the ball with immigration, particularly on the southern border. Second, the economy. And thirdly, the whole woke issue, the whole woke culture. And in particular, I would say, the issue, for example, of trans athletes in women's sport, which is, to me, if you're talking about facts, It is something that most Americans looked at and went, you know what, this is ridiculous. How can you deny biological reality? How can you go against scientific fact? So many would argue that it was the Democrats who lost track of facts and moved into a slightly strange, surreal place where they were trying to deny stuff which most Americans went, well, that's ridiculous.
17 years ago, Shark Tank started a revolution of ideas.
What if you could control the world around you with just a finger?
Revolutionary technology automatically lowers entire structures underground.
This is incredible. It's the thrill of a motorcycle with the magic of a flying carpet.
Whoa. That is wild. I am so excited. I want to scream from the rooftops.
Empowering entrepreneurs.
Unemployment rates for the deaf community are about 55%. We've been invisible. We want to be more visible.
What you decide today will determine your destiny.
The life-changing series returns for a new era.
You're Mr. Wonderful, Miss Perfect. She's definitely got her own money.
With more exciting guest sharks than ever before. Chip and Joanna Gaines, founders of Design.
Look, I would not qualify it the way that you're qualifying it. I do believe that you have a point about the Democratic Party not understanding the moment that we're in, that America's in right now. As far as trans athletes, I think that was, although I understand to certain people it is a big deal, it is such a minute a small percentage of the population, and the trans athletes that are actually in schools and that are competing in in competitions. It's so minor. It affects so few Americans. I'm shocked that it was used to the level that it was in the election, and to great success. And so I must commend the Republicans on an issue that wasn't really an issue for most Americans, that they made it into something that helped to catapult this president into office. Now,
but you see, I've heard a lot of Democrats using that argument, and I've said to them, one of the most effective. I'm not saying you're a Democrat. I'm just saying I've heard a lot of Democrats say it, and my argument to them has been, yeah, but the New York Times reported that the they/them ad that Trump put out, which gathered momentum and then became used more and more and more, was one of the most effective.
I think it was extremely successful.
It was one of the most successful
Yes,
modern political adverts because it cut to the point, I think, again, about common sense, that most Americans actually, maybe they don't have it in their top 5 things they care about. I would absolutely accept that. But when you actually ask them, do you think this is fair? Do you think it's right? Do you think it's equal? Do you think it's good that women's rights would be eroded? They actually then do get quite exercised about it. Hello and welcome. We begin with some breaking news. Woke is dead. The war on common sense is officially over. Cancelled celebrities are emerging from Twitter jail. Virtue signaling has been outlawed under punishment of mass ridicule. And we are finally...
Look, Piers, I'm not here to argue over trans rights. I don't think it necessarily cut to the argument of common sense. I think they simply found an issue that they could capitalize on based on fear or some perceived religious value or what have you. So I'm not going to sit here and demonize trans people, trans women or trans men, because I just don't think that is fair and that is productive in this moment. I'm not going to go back and litigate why Donald Trump won and on the issue of trans. We simply disagree on that. I think it affects so few people. I think it was something that was blown out of proportion, and while there may be some people who are affected by it, and if they are, I'm sorry that happens, but happens, but I just don't think that was an issue that focuses.
So when you see, for example, in the Paris Olympics, when you saw Imam Khalif, an Algerian boxer who had been banned from the World Championships for testing positive for male chromosomes, when you saw a young female Italian boxer quit after 40 seconds because she'd never been hit that hard and genuinely feared for her life, and Imam Khalif goes on to win gold medal at the Olympics, does that not ring an alarm bell for you, Don? I mean, do you not think that the reason we separate sexes in the Olympics is because males have an advantage? I mean, why would you not think that's important? It's
Do you want me to tell
medal.
you the truth?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Piers, I'll tell you the truth about this. I heard about the story, but it's not something that I focus on. I'm not watching the Olympics like that. Maybe I'm different. I'm just not. I'm not that interested in watching everything. I like to watch the swimming. I like to watch the gymnastics. I'm not interested in boxing or any of that because I think it's a brutal sport anyway. So for me, it's just not that interesting. I'm sorry that anybody was hit that hard, but if you put yourself in the arena to be hit and someone hits you hard, then whose fault is that?
Well, you expect to be hit by other women, not men.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know.
Well, when men hit women, we call it.
I'm sure she saw. I'm sure whoever was in that competition understood who they were going into the ring with. And if you put yourself in that competition in the middle of a ring where punches are being thrown, then you can expect to get hit hard, whether it is a man or a woman. And that's all I have to say about it.
So you would have no objection to men fighting women in a boxing ring?
I did not say that. I just said that's all I have to say about that.
But isn't that the implication of what you're saying?
No, I've said in many different ways. That's all I have to say about that.
Right. I'm just trying to clarify what you just said about the boxing. Are you saying it's okay for men to beat up women?
I think I've been very clear. That's all I have to say. I think I've been very clear to you. That's all I have to say.
Well, you
about
have.
it.
I'm just a bit startled by what.
Back if you don't understand.
No, I'm just startled by what I think I just heard, which is you seem to think it's okay for men to hit women in a boxing ring. Is that what you said? Clarify if you didn't.
I didn't say. I don't think it's okay for men to hit women anywhere.
So why would it be okay in a boxing ring?
How's biz, Ash?
Great, especially with the help of Zero accounting software. I can keep my cash flow flowing by giving customers more ways to pay.
Search Zero with an X!
Sunday on Fox. Dak, CD, and the boys take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. America's Game of the Week, Sunday at 4 Eastern on Fox.
Well, again, I didn't say it's okay in a boxing ring. I just said that's all I have to say about it. I don't think it's okay for men to hit women.
So then it sounds like you agree with me that biological men should not be competing against women in a boxing ring.
Piers, no matter how hard you try to, I told you, that's it.
It's not a gotcha question.
I'm not agreeing with you.
It's not a gotcha question.
I'm not saying it's a gotcha question. I'm just saying that I am done with this particular conversation. I don't think that it is productive. I've said what I said, and I'm not changing it. I don't agree with you. That's it.
But if you were doing your old show at CNN, you would have listened to your own response and gone, what exactly did he mean by that?
I probably would have said, okay, that's what you said, and then I would move on.
Powers are mine!
Okay, we'll move on. You've criticised the MAGA right for turning Charlie Kirk into a martyr. You said if a black man on the left went around saying what Kirk said, the right wouldn't consider him a hero. It's an interesting point. Let's take a listen.
White women do not have brain processing power and are stealing jobs from black men, the right would fucking lose their mind.
You stop them in their tracks.
Mark Lamont Hill. Roland. Michael Eric Dice. Let's just say these brothers, or Bakari Sellers, or someone like that. If they went around saying some shit like that, they would be canceled immediately. They would be fired. People would scrub them from their whatever business that they work for. Or if they said, when I get on a plane and I see a white pilot, I'm like, damn, we're gonna, I'm worried.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've seen that blow up a lot in the last few days. So I went back and actually watched exactly what Charlie
Where are you watching all this? I haven't seen any of this blow up that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's been everywhere. Everyone's been showing clips of Charlie Kirk all week on social media.
I have not seen it. I guess maybe I'm just not on social media.
I mean, what's interesting is when you watch it all in context, it's a discussion that is prompted by the fact that Joy Reid, who you know well, had admitted she only got into Harvard because of DEI. So he said it all in the context of her revealing that, and which I think changes the impact of what he was saying. He wasn't just coming out with this. He was saying, there's Joy Reid admitting that she only got into Harvard because of DEI.
What's your question?
So my question is, you've cited that example of him just unilaterally saying black women don't have the brain processing power and so on. But when you actually watch the whole clip in context, that's not what he said.
You're making my point about the clip before, and which is the same point about the clip now that you played, where the context is explained, which is he was talking about not only Joy Reid, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. And it wasn't DEI that they were referring to. They were having discussions about affirmative action and about qualified people, qualified women of color who were offered opportunities or given opportunities that they may not have been given if it were not for affirmative action. And nothing to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so what he said, and I watched the clip, he said that what they were admitting to is that they were somehow a DEI hire and so on, and about brain processing power. I would suggest that you go back and listen to the clip that clip in context of what he was saying. He clearly said what he said, and I guess because of political ideology or because of bias, people are trying to interpret it and make it into something else. That is not what he said, okay? He was very clear about the brain processing or lack of brain processing power for black women, or for those black women.
With Charlie Kirk's death, a lot of people on the left have come out gleefully celebrating what happened. A lot of people have been posting stuff on social media, very happy. And they've turned out to be teachers, professors, doctors, nurses. I mean, people in extraordinary positions of power over other human beings. What should happen to those people?
Well, I think we should look at every circumstances. It should be taken on the circumstances should be taken on their own merit, and what should happen to them should be taken, on individual merit. We should look at each of them. Now, I don't believe that anyone should be celebrating anybody's death at all, ever. And I don't think anyone should be celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. We know, and you know, Piers, that freedom of speech does come with consequences, and there are limits, there are limitations to freedom of speech. And if you work for a private company, they have the right to fire you or discipline you for whatever it is that they want. If you break the rules, their codes of conduct, then you have to suffer the circumstances. So, look, I 100% unequivocally believe that no one should be celebrating anything, and if any of those people broke the rules of their employer, their codes of conduct, then they should be disciplined or fired if it warrants it.
Do you agree?
But I don't believe in canceling people.
Right.
I think there's a lot of cancellation going on the right now, and I'm not comfortable with it.
Do you feel...
I wasn't comfortable with it on the left either.
Right. Do you feel you were a victim of cancel culture at CNN?
Probably. I don't think. I look at everything as an opportunity. Probably, yes. I'm sure that I was a victim of cancel culture, but I would say mostly on the right for cancel culture.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, this is what led to you leaving CNN. Let's take a look at the clip.
If you're launching a new business or have been successfully running one for years, finding the best insurance coverage for your...
She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that.
When you watch that, Don, I happened to be watching that live, and I was like, "Whoa, what did you just say?" If you had a do-over, would you say that again? I mean, what led you to say that?
Okay, Piers, let me just say this. I'm going to answer your question, but just so the audience knows, and I hope you don't cut this out, when I asked you what subjects you wanted to talk about, you know what you said to me? You said, I want to talk to you about freedom of speech in America and the response to Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
Not once did you mention that we were going to talk about CNN or whatever. So, and had I known that, I probably wouldn't have accepted this interview. You have invited me on many times, and I tell you, Piers, I know you. I would come on your show, but I don't do panels. And so when you said I'm not going to be involved in the panel, I agreed to come on your show. But I thought you would also stick by the subjects that you told me that you were going to talk about.
Just to be clear,
rather than try to ambush me with something.
Just to be clear,
so,
you and
yes.
I haven't. Well, John, just to be clear, you and I haven't had any conversation about your appearance. You're talking about my team talking to you.
Yeah, no, and I saw you, Piers, in a restaurant, and I said, hey, Piers, good to see you.
Yeah.
I would come on your show, but I don't do panels.
Right,
And I
you're not
said
on
the
a
same
panel.
thing to your booker.
There's only one
and
of
so
you,
when
Don.
I asked you, and right, okay, and so, yes, and I said that's why I agreed to do it. But when you asked me, or when your team asked me what subjects, and I asked them 2 or 3 times, I have the text messages, what do you want to cover?
Yeah.
Not once was CNN mentioned. So I don't appreciate being ambushed, but let me answer your question since
Hang on
since
one
we're here.
second. No, Don,
Okay?
Don, hang on 1 second. Let's just be crystal clear about what's just happened. You brought up the subject of cancel culture. I asked you, did you feel your departure from CNN was an example of that? And you answered the question. And I think it's perfectly reasonable.
And I answered the question.
Perfectly reasonable in that if you'd said to me, I don't want to
Piers, I
talk
don't
about
think
it, fine.
it's-
No, but hang on, no, so
Piers,
sorry.
that-
You
that
made-
is,
you said what you're going to
that
say.
is
By the way,
completely
we don't.
disingenuous. I
Don,
don't want to
we
get
don't. We
Piers,
don't edit.
I don't like arguing like this. I'm not going to get into an argument with you. Piers, I think that's completely disingenuous. And I think anyone watching that.
What are you
will know.
talking about?
And so if you will let me, if you will allow me, please.
What
please
are you
stop
talking
interrupting me,
about?
Okay. Did you invite me here to interrupt me, or are you going to let
I
me?
think you're
answer the
being a
question?
complete dick, if I'm honest with you.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's very kind and respectful of you.
It wasn't intended to be kind
I don't
or
like the ad
respectful.
hominem attacks. I could respond in kind.
You can
but
say
I
what you
won't
like
because
about me. I don't
think
care.
that I think that I'm above that. I'm not going to do that, Piers. That's not who I am.
I don't understand
do
why
ad
you're
hominem
playing the
attacks.
victim card when
I
you
don't do
yourself
personal attacks.
mentioned cancel culture.
Because Piers. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me just say. Let me do this.
What are you going to do? Read out my
You
team's
want me
messages
to do this,
to you?
Piers? It should be embarrassing. Yeah, I can read out the team messages to you because I
What
just
are
think
you
it's
prepared to
completely
talk about,
unfair,
then, Don?
and you know that. I'm prepared to answer your question, and then I'm going to move on. I told you I'm prepared to talk about Charlie Kirk's death, the response to it, and cancel culture, and and freedom of the press,
So
and freedom of speech.
you
I'm
were prepared to talk
that.
about
But
cancel
let me just
culture,
answer.
or you weren't?
Unless you. No, I'm not prepared.
you're not prepared to
I
talk
can
about
talk
cancel
culture, but that has. Oh my God, Piers, could you stop interrupting me?
Not
are
really.
trying
You're kind
to,
of
like,
exhausting
prove
me. It's
something?
ridiculous. Why would
All right,
you
do you-
react
do you
this
wanna
way to a
continue with
perfectly
this? Are you
normal?
gonna let me talk?
Obviously, if you mention cancel culture, obviously it's rational and logical that I would ask you
Piers, can
whether you felt what
please-
happened to you at CNN was that. I play the clip
Piers,
and then you throw
I've
a
given
hissy
you
fit.
a moment. Enough. I've given you your moment.
I don't
This
want
is
a
going to go
moment.
viral. So please,
I don't want a
enough.
moment,
Yes, you
Don.
do. Otherwise, you wouldn't do this. Otherwise, you would be a respectful journalist and host, and
I
you
don't
would
think
let
I'll
me
take
talk
lectures
instead
on
of
being a
jumping
respectful
in
journalist
because
from
you
you,
want a
Don.
moment. Oh my gosh, Piers.
I won't.
I can't even hear because there's a delay and you keep talking. And what do you want me to do? Like rip the earpiece out of the mic and run off so you have a
No,
moment?
I don't care.
Are you
You
going
do
to let
whatever
me
you
answer the
like.
question? Are you just going to keep pillaring me with questions?
I don't know
and
why
badgering
you've gone
me
on this
and cutting me
weird
off
rant.
before
I
answer?
don't understand any of it. Why have you done this weird reaction? I simply asked you about whether you felt your departure from CNN was, in your eyes, an example of cancel culture. I played the clip,
Piers,
and
you're
I then
embarrassing
said,
yourself, and I tried
when you
to-
watch it back, do you
Piers-
really understand what you were saying?
This is why I don't do this, but you're embarrassing yourself, Piers.
Actually, you might be
And
embarrassing yourself.
you are-
though.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, you might be. Have you thought of that? You're a journalist. You don't want to talk about a story, a massive story that involved you?
Piers, can we move on? You can let me answer the question, and then we can talk about the things that you
Sure.
invited me on to
Why
talk
didn't you
about.
just answer the question to start with?
And we've gotten so far away from what you wanted me to answer that we're off into La La Land. So let me say something about that. The clip that you played had nothing to do with me leaving CNN, okay? And unless you know something that I don't know about me leaving CNN, then you should tell me about it. It had nothing to do. I worked there for months after that, so that had nothing to do with it. And so, and I forget the other thing that you were asking me about in that clip. But
I asked you when
anyways,
you watched the
so
clip
let's
back,
move on.
if you could explain what was going through your mind, that's all.
Thank you. I think the key phrases in that clip, if you want to be honest, and I want you to listen to it, is that I'm not saying that I believe that. That's not according to me. What I was speaking for there is how society treats women. And someone like Nikki Haley should know if women have been discriminated against for centuries, she should be more careful than to say something that discriminates against older people. That's it. And so people took that out of context. No one puts in whenever they write about it that I said, I'm not saying that. I don't believe that. I said that very clearly there. So that is not the reason that I was let go from CNN. And so, again, unless you know something, then, go ahead and tell me.
As you know, it was widely reported that was. So
that's not what I know.
So what was the reason?
Don't believe everything you read.
What was the reason?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
But it all happened after that incident. You know that.
Yeah. Well, Piers, everything happens after something. I don't understand what your point is.
Well, my point is, I think it's quite newsworthy. If you say it had nothing to do with that, then it'll raise the obvious question.
I don't think it's newsworthy, Piers. That was 3 years ago.
Right.
That's it's not newsworthy. That news means something that's new. This isn't new.
Right.
That was 3 years ago. That's
okay,
been
but
all litigated. If you want to find out about it, you are free to be able to read the interviews that I read. You're free to read the statement that perhaps your folks should pull up the statement when I left CNN, and that can explain to you what happened. So this is nothing new.
You
it's
just
all
told me
water
you've
under
no
the bridge.
idea why you were let go.
On. I'm doing something completely different, and so that's that.
Right, but you just said you've no idea why they got rid of you.
I did.
So how do you know it wasn't to do with the clip we just played?
I just said that. I just answered your question. Now, what else do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about, Dom?
The subjects that you invited me on to discuss, Piers.
I thought that included free speech and everything around that.
I know you're loving this viral moment. I just think that you're embarrassing yourself.
I don't think you understand me at all.
I've
got nothing against you at all.
An AI platform where all your knowledge is in one place. It's a happy place. It's a nice place. Where customer experience solutions are so seamless, they're soothing. That's so nice.
Win again during the Drive into Fall event. Start the season with 0% financing for up to 72 months on select new Ram trucks and Jeep Grand Cherokees. Shop now. GenChrysler.Jeep.Dodge.net.
Never have had. I was perfectly...
Piers, you think I don't understand you? Piers, I worked with you for years. I know more about you probably than most people who are watching this program and a lot of the people who are working with you.
Why would I
worked with your staff. I inherited your staff at CNN. I know way more about you than I would care to know. I know way more about how you do business and how you approach journalism than I care to know. I have not been on anyone else's show. I don't want to be on anybody's show. I don't want to do panel shows. I don't want to argue with people about things that are inconsequential. What we should be talking about right now is how to keep what happened to Charlie Kirk from happening to anybody else. That's where the conversation should be. But instead, you're trying to get a moment. You're trying to make some news out of something. But go ahead. Have your fun. But we should be discussing something that is productive to the American people instead of you going into the garbage and trying to find something that will, give you a moment or that you will, get a click out of it or more viewers for your program.
You sound very bitter, Dom.
Piers, are you kidding me?
No.
Bitter. I'm the happiest go lucky person ever. I'm just exposing your hypocrisy and how you lied to me about what you wanted to discuss.
I've never talked to you about this interview at all.
You don't have conversations with your producers? So your producers lied to me, or you don't?
No,
you're not that
you've
involved.
You've admitted one of the subjects we wanted to talk to you about.
You're not that involved in the editorial process of your own show, where they don't convey to you
by your own admission
what you are.
You know what, Don?
That the guest what the guest is going to talk about on the program.
You obviously expected
Are you not that involved in the editorial process of your own show that you don't know that? Piers?
Already admitted that one of the subjects was free speech, and yet here you are getting enraged about me exercising my right to free speech to ask you a few questions.
Piers, I'm not enraged. I'm not enraged at all. I think this is kind of funny. I'm not enraged at all. I mean, it's kind of exactly what I thought, like, hey, I don't want to go on the Piers Morgan show because of the spectacle of it all. And so that's confirmation of that. But I'm glad you got this moment. This is a moment for me as well that's going to play out on social media. It's going to be good for me too. So go for it.
What moment do you think we've got?
Piers, come on.
Come on, I don't know what you mean.
come on, let's do something that's more productive than this.
Well, look,
Let's
you
be
know,
adults here, Piers. Come on.
honestly, when you do this, when you say that I'm into journalism, and you do this, or like it's not journalism, you've taken a big high moral ground
Piers,
about.
you-
hang on. I'll ask you a question.
I am
You've
taking the moral high
big-
ground. Piers, you should know better than anyone where this conversation should be going, especially since you understand what happened at CNN with you. With gun control in the United States. That was a big thing for you when you were at CNN, and I'm not sure what happened, if that was part of the reason that you were let go. But, you know, hey, Piers, this is Don Lemon. I know you. I've worked with you. I know a lot about you. So let's just move on and be adults. And so let's talk about, I think, something that would be important to you, and that is sensible gun legislation in the United States that would have perhaps prevented the untimely and sad death of Charlie Kirk. Can we do that?
How would it have prevented it happening?
Why don't you tell me? Because you are an expert on the subject. At least you were when you were working at CNN. You were very pro gun legislation, and I believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, pro gun control.
Yeah, I don't understand how you stop a deranged young man who the investigators say has become radicalized to the left from taking his grandfather's old rifle and using it to fire one bullet that kills Charlie Kirk. If you can think of a legislation that would stop that.
I think you just answered that. You said your grandfather's old rifle.
Right.
So look, perhaps it should have been in a safer place. Perhaps
Would you know where it was?
There should be rules. Hang on. There should be rules as it relates to people, young people in the house, who can have possession of guns. There are a whole lot of things that we can talk about as it relates to sensible gun control and rules and laws around guns. And so, you know, I don't know the circumstances in his home. I do know that it was a conservative MAGA family, a gun-loving family. And so perhaps if we didn't have more guns than people in the United States and our gun laws weren't so lax, perhaps we could prevent a whole lot of these deaths. You know, you're in the UK, all over Europe, all over different continents and different countries in the world. Everybody has mental health issues. Everyone has problems. But you know what they don't have? As easy access to guns as Americans do, and as many guns as Americans do. And so that is the only difference in this. And so to me and to most sensible people in this country and all over the world, it seems to us and me that perhaps if we got a handle on that, we too could be like England. We too could be like Ireland. We too could be like Italy. We too could be like even countries that are not a part of Europe. We too could be that way and not have so many senseless gun deaths.
All right, and do you think that one of the reasons why this shooter killed Charlie Kirk was because he didn't like his opinions?
If what law enforcement said about if the text messages or if that all comes out in evidence and they are true, then yeah, I think he's given his reasons. I think he gave the reasons. He didn't like what Charlie Kirk stood for. He didn't like what he said. I don't believe that's a reason to kill anybody or shoot anyone. But if this is true, he has admitted to that.
When you've got smoke-free satisfaction, you've got the freedom to do things your way. Get $20 off 5 cans of Zyn when you take the Zyn 10 Challenge. Try it for 10 days. Smoke-free, hands-free, and find your freedom. Claim $20 off your first 5 cans of Zyn when you take the Zyn 10 Challenge. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
With Monday.com's intuitive work management platform, you have the power. Not IT, not admins. You're in charge. So you can tailor work exactly how you love to do it. For example, you can add custom fields and choose how you like to view your work without needing help from IT. That's why over 225,000 customers love to use Monday.com. Because you have the freedom to build it exactly how you picture it. The first work platform you'll love to use. Monday.com.
Okay. And finally, Don, we started this, just to be fair. You said you don't like the way that the MAGA crowd have reacted to Charlie Kirk because they're doing it just for clicks and stuff about somebody's death. And yet,
some of them, I said some of them. Okay. I said some of them, not all of them.
Which ones in particular are you thinking of?
Well, if you go back and watch the Don Lemon Show on YouTube, or if you watch Don Lemon on social media, you will find I mentioned certain people, and you can find it there.
So you object to clickbaity headlines about people and death?
Do I object to what?
Clickbaiting headlines about people and death.
Not necessarily. I think that's part of our culture. I think it's part of our culture, and I think it's
is it something you ever do?
It is a byproduct, please, of our siloed media, and I think people perhaps sometimes do it to get attention, whether it's right or whether it's wrong, but sometimes people do it to break through, whether that's right or wrong. It's just simply what it is. That's
sure,
a matter
but
of fact.
Do you ever do it?
I don't think I do it to any more so than anyone else. I don't think I do it any more so than the Piers Morgan Show or any other show that is based on YouTube.
I'm only curious because 2 weeks ago, you had a headline.
You have to do something
well, 2 weeks ago.
I'm not done talking yet, Piers. I'm not done talking yet, Piers. I didn't finish my statement. I'd say sometimes you have to do things to get people's attention so that they can click on something and to see if it is important or not, and they can make up their own decision about if they want to continue on with the content.
Got it. No, I got it. That's the whole point of clickbait, yeah. You had a headline 2 weeks ago, hot takes, could Donald Trump be dying?